with the toss for the Saints. It's his 100th game this afternoon, and that's why he's in the middle for the toss, even though his father and mother are from PNG and from Wales. And of course, Brett Goods with the toss for the Western Bulldogs as part of Indigenous round as well. And there is the man who's been the face of the Indigenous round in 2013, Nicky Winmar. Played with both teams, 251 games total. 230 for the Saints, of course, and 21 for the Western Bulldogs. And a reasonable crowd building here. Wasn't a massive crowd the last two times these two teams played here, but it is a home venue for both teams.
Just in the middle there. It's starting to warm right up here. So before we get a bounce of the ball, it's on. Umpire going back to the centre now, Dwayne. Big Will Minson gets in amongst it.
I've seen this for a while.
All started by you, so you're the one we're watching, all right?
Still going on.
So spot fires breaking out everywhere. Both teams coming in. Obviously huge game for both teams. 1 from 19 for the Bulldogs, and the Saints, well, they must win today to have any hope of staying in touch with the 8.
Umpire Steve McBurney sorts them out and bounces it. We're underway. Minson against McAvoy and Griffin. The initial clearance, and there's the perfect start. Mark taken by Addison inside 50. Just back into the lineup, about to have his first kick. Short pass instead. Didn't want to go for it himself, and it goes for Williams, also back into the lineup this week.
Really stats are good stats, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So they've got a few ins, Williams, Addison, and the big one, Nathan Rovat, who is playing his first game of AFL football this afternoon.
Tom Williams in the pre-match warm-up kicks was falling off the ball and lifting them high and to the right, so he wants to stay over this if he wants to punch it through.
First game of the year, and not first goal of the year.
Just like that, Doom.
That's what he was doing in pre-match, leaning back on it.
Well, he perfected it, didn't he?
He's got it down pat.
He has indeed. So a point and a bad point for the Bulldogs. Tom Williams should have kicked that one. It was the perfect start, and that was the perfect punch. Well played there by the Bulldogs. So we're going to throw in.
Got it.
Now, if you watch him, in technical talk, he leans back on this and just gives it, see his body leans away and he comes out onto it after the kick. That's a little bit technical, but that's what happened.
McAvoy to Hayes. There's Robertson in the end. You got the kick out for the Saints, looking and finding the boundary line. As Meister got a little shove.
What is bizarre though, Dermot, you could pick it up. Why wasn't there an assistant coach there telling him exactly that during the warm-up?
You've probably only got one kicking coach, and he might have been watching somebody else at the time.
What, he couldn't figure it out himself when the ball was missing the big stick?
That's what coaches, they've got 15 coaches a team these days.
Yeah, surely you could figure that one out yourself.
So Lower's gone to Del Santo there, boys. Gave the free kick away very late, pushed him into the fence.
He was always a chance to go to it.
Yep.
Free kick.
It's also been good value for them, Lower.
Yeah, he's a goer. Doesn't mind mixing it up with the tough stuff either, Derm.
Still on behind, play a little, Stephen.
Play on.
Called to go. Short option. Sipos driven into the deck legally. Was the sub last week, so it should be reasonably fresh. Aaron Sipos, and holding the ball call gives Sipos the free to Montagna. Floats one wide in the Milne direction. He gets there and holds it for the crowd to see. Waste no time. He steps easily around Boyd. Centering kick. Rewalked up. Got it.
Great play by Milne, wasn't it? Just took them on. Elaborate balk. And set the scene for the big kick to the rampaging Nick Revolt. Has been fantastic, Ruth.
Oh, he has been. He's having a sensational year. People were pretty quick to try and write him off last year when he was playing with lots of injuries, but that was a beautiful kick by Milne. He put it out in front, gave his defender no chance at all. He had about 3 or 4 metres and didn't even need to use it. It was such a beautiful kick.
Only kicked 1-3 last week, but 2 weeks ago people were saying it was a chance for the Brownlow and the Coleman. And that's what he can do occasionally, Nick Revolt.
But his kicking action has been exceptional. It's the best it's ever been this season, so let's just hope that that's a one-off.
So Brett Goods, let's hope he has quite a night than his brother did last night. His kick out has been intercepted by Meister. Over to Sipos, a beautiful kick. He drives to the goal square. He's got it again, the big man. Revolt just read the ball in flight beautifully. Took it on his chest.
He even, just get the feeling he even worked Morris underneath that low flat ball coming in.
Should be a soda this. One step to the right.
It's pretty simple to work through.
And does. Nick Riewoldt has the score on the board for St Kilda. He's kicked 1-1 sub. The Saints, they lead by a goal after 3 and 50 seconds of play.
Yeah, he's a champion, he's a superstar, and what he does is just outworks his players. But see Meister there, he needs to have a big night. Sipos has got a beautiful boot, got it on quickly, pumped it in long, and over the back of Morris. It was a bit unfortunate there, Morris couldn't do much about that. It was a good long kick. See Goods going back with a fly to the ball, but Riewoldt got the mark, finished it off, and he's off to a cracking start again.
He kicked 4 goals and got the 3 Brownlow votes last time these two teams met. He likes playing against the Dogs, and he started well.
And they have to put a smaller bloke on him in Morris just because his sheer work rate. The big fellas can't keep up with him.
He works them over. Ross. Slick up, Geary, dump, dispossessed. That's Hrovat, first touch for him. First game of AFL footy, and a nice first touch at that to Williams. Big raps on Nathan Hrovat. David King's seen a lot of his junior footy. We'll get down to David King shortly. Centering kick from Williams. Jones is the man they want. One hand to it. Couldn't quite bring it down though. Minson gets the kick away, but it's only a behind. Kingy, you're down there. Picked 21 in last year's draft. Hrovat, big raps.
He's all class, Twain. He's a great ball user, and I think the Bulldogs need exactly this sort of player. A little Brent Harvey type in the making.
Yep, Victorian Metro vice-captain last year. And he was part of the trade for Brian Lake with Stevens. Here's a chance again. Riewoldt was right on it. Now.
Oh, well done. Good sleight of hand.
Sure. Kick comes up. Terrible kick. The mark taken to St Kilda by Stanley. Into the centre of the ground. Roberton with the flowing locks. They'll send over the 1-2 with Stephen. Out he comes wider still. Fisher. Back into the corridor, Roberton looking up. Can switch if he needs to. Goes down the corridor instead. Gets the 1-2 gain. So Roberton takes them on. Has a bounce. And has a second one. Looking. Now he gets the lead coming towards him. Sipos does it beautifully. To Lenny Hayes from 50. He lines them up. Riewoldt's got this again.
Gee.
He runs so hard.
And inside it comes. And the mark has been taken by Seb Ross.
I've got to say this about Roo. There's a graphic we're going to put up in a second. Since records have been taken in stats, first 8 games of a year, opening 8 games of any season, he's second all time for the most marks taken, Riewoldt, of the opening 8 games of any season.
Seb Ross, the cousin of Jobe Watson, the Brownlow medalist, comes in, stubs his toe, and kicks a point.
And he was only second by 1. We'll see that list come up. It's a really interesting list. We'll see that in a second when we get a little bit of time put up next to Nick. I've got a feeling he's going to take another grab soon.
He is arguably the best player to watch when he's in full flight. Griffin steps Jones, who was the late inclusion with Armitage out. If you weren't with us from the start, Brett Goods short. I hope he has as big a night as his
50,
brother.
Yeah.
Stat-wise last night, Ed. He started the season very well, Brett Goods. Hasn't evolved as well as he would have liked, but let's hope he's back in form today. Liberatore in the middle with the 50.
I think we have to get rid of that rule.
Yep.
It's a terrible rule, that one, isn't it?
It doesn't fit the 50 metre, does it? It's not.
Have you got time for the Rules Committee, Ed?
Make time, Eddie.
McAvoy.
We'd only need one meeting.
Back of the pack. Well, he took on Williams there. Crowd wanted a free. Meister kick smothered. Ball in.
And we can already see Meister working right up the ground tonight. We said in the pre-game that Riewoldt was getting sucked up onto the wings too much last week, but he's playing closer to goal. And here's that stat you were saying before, Derm.
Everybody's mate, Matty Richardson, the most marks, 87 in the opening 8 rounds of a season. Look at the big Dempsey, Gary Dempsey, 86, 85 and 79, 78. Riewoldt this season, he's already taken 3 tonight.
Seasonally adjusted. I think Gary Dempsey stands up because he used to be able to smack the arms away in those days and cop it in the back of the head as well.
Yeah, seasonally adjusted. He used to play loose man behind play. And they all bombed it forward.
Just stick up for big Gary.
He was an amazing player, though.
What a champion he was.
Yep.
Good hard commitment from Stevens and Nunes. And it's Stevens' ball. I don't think the umpire was sure there for a second. This is McRae. winner of the nomination for the NAB Rising Star last week. Not a good start from him. Ross got on the end of the handball. And now they want to run. Rewalt, well, he missed him completely. Gave it straight to Rewalt's man, Morris. Boyd. Liberatore, the sidestep. Got it from McRae. Tried to give it back. Good pressure from the Saints. They are the turnover kings, the Dogs. If you put pressure on them, it's been the reason they have not been able to win since round 1. Mad scramble inside 50. Griffin gets free. Scoops it back. Murphy. Caught by the arm. Shrugged the arm of Stephen. Pumps it back. Hot spot. Addison's there. Just flicked past him. Wilt wants to feed back onto it with Williams. Good opportunity this for the Dogs. Behind.
It's well defended by Geary.
He just got a hand onto there, didn't he, Jim?
Yeah.
Nice timing.
Just snicked the knuckles there. Now the boys handballed it back in there. Robertson's been very good value for St Kilda. We've already seen one of those searching runs go forward.
Here he is again. Over the top. This time no 1-2. He leaves it for his teammate in the Dempster. His kick is a beauty.
Good
Great
catch.
mark. Stephen. Handballs on. And away they go now. Stanley goes with a long kick forward. Look at this. They've got them on the overlap again. And Del Santo will line up from 35 metres on. A bit tighter than 45 degrees, but a man of his calibre can easily kick this goal.
Well, Matty Boyd's coming to the bench. He is running with him, I think, Kingy. He's been trailing him around, but he got caught up in traffic then.
Yes, he did, and I think that they're going to be caught up in traffic if they can't control the ball, Doom. The gap in uncontested possessions has already blown out to 20 in favour of the Saints.
Gee whiz. So Del Santo comes in. Does what a good player does. Puts it straight through the middle from that angle and that distance. And the Saints get their second. They lead by 11 points.
Kicking efficiency's just never been more important, boys. We see the good sides retain possession of the ball. They go from one end of the ground to the other. At the moment, St Kilda going at 75% with the kick. Western Bulldogs 54%. So if you want your players to take the game on, to run and create and try and give some targets, well, if you turn the ball over, they get burned on the rebound, and that's how you end up with a bloke like Nick Del Santo, 20 metres on his own in the forward 50.
Gee, it's exciting when you see a 6'6" bloke stream down the wing like that in Reece Stanley. He's got a vapour trail coming off the back of him.
It almost works sometimes giving the Dogs the ball because their defence is not set as soon as the turnover occurs. They all run forward, out of position, and get hurt so badly on the rebound and scores from turnovers. I know Kingy has the uncontested possession numbers. You've been talking about the scores from turnovers for a number of years now. It's becoming more important by the minute. Nunes.
Yeah, that is the closest description to rope-a-dope in football I've ever heard from you, Dwayne. Give them the ball so they can run forward to position. They turn it over and give it back to you. Then you've got them caught out.
Quite often the Cats don't win the clearances from the middle.
Yeah.
The Dogs have been winning a lot of clearances from the middle, but not winning any games.
Another one. That's a block. There's a block there. Didn't disguise it well enough.
It's a block.
Addison will take it.
There was a block there, boys. It was a block by Gwilt just to protect his teammate who was going to take the mark, and it's a free kick dead in front to Addison.
Gee, it was 3-on-1 there. Fisher was the other bloke who was just standing behind him and trying to cover. He did the right thing, Fish. And
there's a technique to doing that, right?
Yeah.
It is feign that you're going for the footy, but don't.
well, you get as close to the bloke that you want to protect and jump up behind him as well. Then you have to come from 3 deep.
This is a massive kick for their confidence. Hallelujah.
Well, full marks there to Addison, though, who kept going in the contest. Plenty of times you get the bump out here and you give up on the chase, and he pinballed his way through 3 there.
Not a great sign that Tommy Williams first came back, and he's going to be out of puff. But see him coming through the back of shot there. I mean, he's a 6'4.5", 6'5" key position player. He's got to get to that anyway. And with that kick, wasn't a great kick, but worked in the end. He's got to get onto the end of those. Well done by Addison.
But they'll show Gwilt during the week, boys. You've got to get as close to you can as the bloke you want to protect, and then jump up in the air and look like you're actually going for the grab. You can't stick your hands out and shepherd.
Kingy, next up, we'll get you to explain your thesis about the rope-a-dope of football. You wrote what I reckon will be an award-winning article in the Herald Sun last week about it. We'll get your thoughts on it in a few moments. Now it's in the back, free kick to the Western Bulldogs. Give us a bit of an insight now while we've got you, Kingy.
Well, the simple theory is, as Dwayne touched on before, 2/3 of scores in football at the moment are coming from turnover. So clearances and contested football in tight traffic, in congestion. are less relevant now than they've ever been. You still need to win it in your forward line, but they're less relevant than we've ever seen in clearance situations.
I recommend any student of the game to go into Herald Sun online and go to David King's assessment before the Collingwood-Geelong game of Geelong's match play, and explains it beautifully. Here we go. We've got it at defensive 50 as Picken goes round the body and kicks it straight to Hickey, who marks it at half-forward flank.
Hickey wants a runner. Montagna knew that. Hickey knew that. Farron Ray knows it. Against his old team. Takes them on. Mace to the target. Oh, throws through his hands. Rough head. Caught. And now the pressure comes. Jones a bit overzealous there. Fair enough. He didn't know he was playing 2 hours ago.
Now that isn't too high.
Yeah, probably.
That one is a free kick.
That's a legit.
Saddled him up. That's been in the back and too high for a while. Picken. Stevens. He sits it on Goods' head. Good enough though. Keeps his feet. Stringer. Outside of the boot from the youngster Stringer. Outstanding. Addison needs to make it count. Murphy wants it long. Dalhouse wants it short. He goes to Dalhouse. Hasn't seen the big sticks for weeks, Dalhouse. Didn't want to go for it and gives it to Rovat, the first gamer, to maybe kick his first goal in AFL footy.
Well, well done by Dalhouse. He had plenty of time. I tell you what, there would have been a lot of small forwards who would have had a ping there.
I reckon he should have taken the shot.
Yeah, he's lacking confidence, obviously. But anyway, we'll see young Rovat here, who
Good luck to the lad.
at 174 and 77 centimetres will need to kick a few goals in his career.
His first goal as an
Got close.
AFL player, never in doubt. Welcome to the big time. You said Kingy was a good user. He showed it there.
He's a superstar, this kid in the making. I think he'll be a premier midfielder for the Bulldogs for a long period of time. He's exactly what they need. He's all class. He's got an enormous want to get possession. His work rate is absolutely first class. I think he's exactly what they lack. I'll be surprised if he didn't play a full game today and spend some major minutes in the midfield. It's there. You can see him on screen there. He's so excited to be here, and just to get that jersey today just means so much to him and his family. And he's a star in the making. Boy, do the Dogs need him.
Let's have a look at the way the Bulldogs moved the ball forward. They went backwards, ran it out, came to the wing, went out wide again, chip kick, and then the short pass over the top. Changed the angles, the lines coming in.
And the Dogs hit the front and they go forward again inside their 50. Great play bashing through there was Stringer. What a performance he had last week. Murphy around the body, needs a good bounce here, and he gets one for the Bulldogs. It sits nicely for Smith, who tracked the ball beautifully, then got the handball, just missed the target in Minson. In goes Murphy again. Bulldogs starting to lift here, it's fantastic. And we'll have a ball up in the forward pocket. Thought before with Dalhouse, rarely does he get a chance to kick to a smaller forward.
Yep.
And he took the opportunity.
Exactly, and the reason they got that goal, boys, we highlighted their kicking was poor at the start of the game. They went from back to forward because they kept possession of the ball.
Big Will hits it to the right spot. Williams over the top. Smith with the left foot snap. Kicks the third for the Bulldogs. They've got the last three of the game and they have gone to a 7-point lead.
Well done to Tommy Williams. First game back after a long spell off. Just recognised the call. Watch him go inboard. He takes Fisher in there, loses him a bit off the back, and the handball to the outside. Well done. Heard the call as he was still accepting the footy.
He's been good, Williams, hasn't he? He's provided a real avenue to goal.
Well, he's a big unit. They've placed so much stock in him over the last few years. An interesting stat that came out during the week that it was his teammate that he got drafted along the same time with.
We'll come back to it in a sec, Derm.
Ryan Griffin.
Yep. There he is, right on cue. Griffin gets the ball, handballs over the top. Boyd's kick is a beauty. Jones over the top of the ball. Addison there. Here's Dalhouse. Here's Addison. It's free kick. Played the free kick. Addison gets his second. The advantage played. 4 in a row to the Bulldogs.
I tell you what, he would have been a bit annoyed if he didn't go through with that one. He kicked it off the ground, took an advantage, but great pressure here by Dowse. You see him come in from the right-hand side here. Thoroughly deserved the free kick. He was held on when he didn't have it by Dempster, and he's gone on the outside of the foot off the ground here, Addison, and you would have hoped they would call it back if it didn't go through.
Addison, we might need him for the Socceroos World Cup qualifiers. Although he did kick it, so he probably wouldn't get picked.
So that's that I was talking about before. With Big Tom Williams playing in the forward line, he's playing game 77, drafted at the same time as Ryan Griffin, who's playing game 170. So that's how much footy he's missed.
Good point.
And he's playing his first game for the season today. Umpire will sort this out with the ball up. This is fantastic for the Dogs.
4 goals in 8 minutes, Dwayne.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. They have lost 18 of their past 19 games. Their confidence would be down, and all of a sudden they had it lifted by some youth. Goods gets back. Johannesson pumps it wide. Murphy's going to have to motor. It's a 4-on-2 here. Saints have the 4. Ray inboard. Fisher, Ross, Nunes. He's got Sipos over the top. Sat it on him a little. Made him wait for it. Steps around a couple. Turnover. Goods. Just in time to Stevens. Turnover again. Stephen from Stevens. Gave it to Robertson. And he wants to go back. Dangerously to Dempster. All the way back to halfback Stanley.
Great defence by the Bulldogs. St. Kilda had no one to go to.
Out of side, Jones, Griffin. Would take Griffin in that one-on-one. Couldn't win it though, ball in.
The Bulldogs' forward structure with Williams coming up the ground allows Jones to stay at home and be a bit more of a target for that long bomb in rather than trying to pinpoint every week as they've done early in the season.
That's the intention, and Addison is the scrapper. He will work tooth and nail to hold the ball in.
And here's the bloke with a bit of silk. Beautiful kick in from Griffin on the left foot. Real chance here for Addison, who has been dangerous. Goes to ground. Doggy's fan said, was it within 5 metres? Umpy said, yep, it was. So it comes out now from Fisher. Good play. At the Farron Ray, former Bulldog on the left boot. Mungles the kick. Close to the boundary line. Sipos goes down. Double tackle. Over the line. We'll have a throw in.
And over the last few weeks, we've seen McAvoy push back behind the ball. You can just see that good bump there to give Fisher some time on the rebound there. We've seen McAvoy roll behind the ball, a kick behind to help his defenders out. The last 5 inside 50s, the Dogs have scored 4 goals. They may need to look at getting McAvoy back for some support.
Farron Ray, long, Rewald's got 2 against him. Feeding back, Roughhead, needed to hold it. Morris mops up that little mess nicely. Being hunted down, gets the kick in Murphy's direction. Quill, good use of the body on Stringer. Fisher to Rewald. Robertson's the runner. In fact, it's Jones. Robertson ran past him. Rewald wants it long. Milne goes the short. Hayes. Rewald over his head. And Roughhead outread him there. Morris. 1-2 with Roughhead. Needs to show some poise. Dangerous. Montagna had an arm grabbed and wins a free.
Gee, that was pretty ordinary exit from full back there. Lower was on, had plenty of time in the middle of the ground. There's a kick, was it Roughhead that kicked?
Yeah, Roughhead's kick.
He had plenty of time to find him. It just didn't have the confidence in his kicking ability to be able to hit lower, and it's going to cost him potentially a goal.
Kicked with his toe pointing to the sky there, just trying to chip it rather than punching the ball
He looked
hard.
at it a couple of times.
Yeah.
He said, I don't really want to kick it there, and then he ended up doing it.
Still back the momentum in the shadows of quarter time. Montagna strikes it nicely and drills it. It's a hot game at present.
And David King, once again, a turnover killing the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it does, especially in your defensive 50. You've just got to show some composure coming out of there. They've given up 2 goals, 1 so far. Of St Kilda's 3 goals, 2. So it's exactly that 2/3 that we spoke about in terms of your total score. But you just need to play the percentages on exit like that, because you didn't have a logical option, but the space rule would be the logical approach, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he could have gone longer, but he actually did have him on. He just kicked it really badly, King. He should have went more to the middle of the ground to Lower's advantage side instead of to Montagna's side. So a bad mistake, and it cost him a goal.
So the Bulldogs by 7 points. As you can see, 5 minutes 13. 5 minutes this. If the team can rattle on 2 or 3 goals, it could break this game wide open. Minton over the top. Griffin again gets the centre clearance in the inside 50. He's been fantastic. That was great play by Dempster going back, tackling Addison. Has he given them something, Dermot Brewery?
If you see somebody ahead of you up the field work that hard, the rest of the team down the line draw a little bit of confidence to keep putting in and pushing the ball forward that hard.
Stringer was fantastic. The don't argue came from Lower, and this could be another Bulldogs goal. Absolutely was a fantastic goal there by Stevens. Great stuff. So they've kicked 5 of the last 6 goals.
Well, he's on the ball at the moment.
Yeah, have a look here. There's Minson, hits the tap. Well done to Stringer. Got it to Lower. Lower gets it out. Stevens steadies and execute. Now, we spoke about clearances not being as important anymore. Well, they are in the forward 50, as Kingy said. Stringer was the one that got the real one in tight, Derm. Got it to Lower, got it to Stevens, and finished off with a great goal.
Young Seb Ross was responsible for Stevens there, but just didn't get close enough.
That's their second goal for forward 50 stoppages. They are working that quite well, and they've been unlucky a couple of times not to draw a free kick.
10-5, the stoppages, boys, in favour of the Bulldogs.
Minson goes hard into Hickey. Hickey still wins the clearance, although it ricochets the Dogs' way. Good attack from Smith. Broke free for Dalhouse. Couldn't quite trap it. Ray does. Dangerous handball. Robertson steps a couple nicely.
He's a bit quicker than we think.
Rewalt the target. Bouncing ball. He won't get there.
I watched him last week, Derm. He is very quick. He's about 6'4", Robertson. You'd never think it, but he's had more running bounces than anyone in the comp over the last month, and he's terrific rebound off half-back.
194 centimetres.
6'4.5".
Jones, Sipos. Getting all the demographics fixed up on the size calculations there, aren't we?
Yeah, sorry, I got it wrong there, Eddie.
Beautiful mark taken there by Roughhead.
He's just got to keep it simple. It's not on offer early on in the middle. Don't think it's going to unravel and unfold for you.
Griffin, too high there to Coops.
Just got to concede there in that position, Jones. There's no point going over the top and giving a free kick. Let him grab the ball and then get him around the waist.
Goods just wants to chip the ball in and does.
It's been a swap made, Ed. McAvoy's been caught on the mark here. Minson's pushed forward. If they can get the ball in long and high into that forward 50, Minson's a chance to mark.
He's up against Dempster, Kingy.
Rovat got the little chip kick across. He's doing well the first gamer. Here's Murphy. Something from nothing here as he kicks it in beautifully. Look at that.
Good
to
catch.
Addison. You just know when Bob Murphy gets it that there is a chance that something classy will happen. He will do something a little bit unexpected. He'll kick it to the right spot, and he did on that occasion.
Well, it's an 8 out of 10 kick. It's a 9 out of 10 grab.
Yep.
I mean, that's good footy all around, and Addison was on full tilt coming straight at that. They're the hardest ones to get. They come pretty low, flat, hard, but are still above your eye line as you lead out directly into it.
Dylan Addison, originally from St George in New South Wales, through the ACT under-18s, comes in. He's been a revelation so far tonight, but he blots his copybook with that kick going forward on that occasion and through for a point. He's got a good old Western Bulldogs head, hasn't he?
Stephen.
Scruffy old beard, isn't it?
That's from Collingwood man Eddie Maguire, of course. Rewalt, good hand. Speaking of 9 out of 10 grabs. That was a 9 out of 10er at full stretch. Hayes back into the team this week after the hamstring issue. Wobbly kick. Murphy. Can he hit a target on the rebound again? Looks up. He wants the short. Coming hard. Good grab, Williams. Back to Murphy. No one in the square here. Too long for his leg. Realises it. Back to Hrovat. Does use it well, as we've told you. Puts it on Jones's head. Saints have the numbers at the back. Jones makes a contest with Geary. Out of play. A good option for Jones. Took it to the line. Ball in.
Well, they got away with it there, St Kilda. Lenny Hayes, you don't see Lenny make too many mistakes with the kick through the middle of the ground.
What a clean pickup from Murphy.
Yep.
Good hands.
This one here, he just could not quite get it over to Jones.
So Jones was great the way he was able to beat 2 to get the ball to the boundary line. That was a real win inside 50 for the Bulldogs, but not to bounce straight out again.
And Kingy, when you mentioned that Will Minson pushed forward, he was too tired to lead. He actually exhausted himself by working forward.
Minson's taps inside 50 have been fantastic. The Saints want to use a double ruck combination against him as much as possible today. Here's Stringer again. Hayes grabbed too long. No, umpire says. Ducked his head, and the umpire said, you ducked your head, which was great.
They're feeling the pressure down there, Ed. The backs for St Kilda, the back 6 at the moment under real heat. They've been inside 50 11 times, the Western Bulldogs, and they've scored 9 times and look likely every time there's a forward 50 stoppage.
Scott Waters was telling me yesterday, very keen to get the double ruckman going.
Yeah, he wants it to the outside so blokes like Jack Stevens can get that quicker pace onto the footy.
throw. Bulldogs inside 50, and McRae will take the shot.
Oh, I reckon that was that was a left jab to the chin, I reckon, Darren.
Oh, he's looking the other way. Ahmed Saad almost gave it to the man on the mark.
To the top of the square, good spot to hit. Del Santo ready for it, goes back to Dempster, and it's still on behind play. Open space ahead. Morris should get there in front of Rewalt. Ball bounced kindly for him. He's got Stevens back inside. He's got Young inside. Could have gone by boot, goes by hand. Forces him to play on quickly. Down to a minute. Steps around a tired Rewalt. Slides it inside 50. Not quite Stringer. Robertson crunch.
Good's got him.
Contested possession hasn't been a problem for the Dogs all year. They have won that particular facet of the game. They're winning it again here today. Banged out of the area by Stanley. High bomb. Rewalt. Fist from Morris. Ahmed Saad. Caught. Johannesen wraps him up. Ball up on the wing.
Good footy there. They could have easily given a free kick away there, Johannesen, but just fell back on the tackle. Didn't get into his back. Good footy all round. It's pretty willing and contested out there at the moment, boys.
Nothing breaks your heart more than a goal conceded in the last 30 seconds of a quarter. We'll have a throw in, and both teams have still got time to get one here. For the Bulldogs, what a goal it would be for them if they could get one here to take a 20-point lead. So, Minson's been fantastic in the ball-ups and throw-ins so far. McAvoy, Minson got the tap down. Jeez, McRae over the top. And that might just kill it as far as the score's concerned. We'll have one more bounce, you'd think.
Nothing silly, boys.
Nothing silly, says the ump. Matthew Leopard. Again, Minson knocks it. It was Jones who sharks the ball. Free kick. Goods' free kick. So the Bulldogs have the free kick at half-back flank. The clock stops with 12 seconds to go.
Yeah, it was against Aaron Sipos. He tried to take him out of the contest from side on.
So that should just about do us for the opening term, and one the Bulldogs will have enjoyed.
5-goal quarter for the Doggies.
5-goal quarter, and a comeback too, because they trailed by 11 points when Del Santo kicked the Saints' second goal. Rewalt and Del Santo got the first two. The next four to the Doggies, then one apiece in the time-on period. 3-2-20 St Kilda. The Western Bulldogs lead 5-4-34 by 14 points at Etihad Stadium. You're watching Fox Footy.
They know this is their chance. This is their big opportunity. And they could head into the bye with renewed optimism. They win today. They've got Port Adelaide and Darwin next week before their week off.
In the opening 8 rounds, they've conceded 140 more points than St Kilda. So today's the day they've got to put a stop to that.
Minson back into the middle against McAvoy. Ross clears to Meister. And he turns rough head inside out to Rewalt. Morris right with him. Young mops it up. Sold it nicely. Little 1-2 with rough head and pumps it to the wing. Dempster the fist. Hayes couldn't keep it alive.
Another thing we've seen with the Western Bulldogs this year, boys, they play well in patches. They've been beaten in little bursts throughout the year, so they just can't afford St Kilda to get a run on in this second quarter.
Yeah, about 85% of each quarter they play, don't they? The Doggies so far this year. Brendan McCartney was very, very strong on that during the week, that was one of the key messages, to try and play these quarters out, not let the opposition get that 5-minute burst against them, which has been, unfortunately, the hallmark of their season. There's the coach, Brendan McCartney. Real teaching role at the moment. Completely different side to the one that made those preliminary finals a few years back.
Yeah. We're going to look at the ruck work now. It'll be Minson up against McAvoy. Doesn't look like there's a Meister will try and line up to be third man up.
And there they go again. This time Roughhead got in there and used his body to block for him. They'll have another ball up, we'd think. Umpire waiting. He's not going to pay a free.
That's not a good sign.
They hate throwing the ball up twice, don't they? They always like to pay a free kick on that second occasion.
Milne's got a bit of work to do here. Does it nicely too. Slapped the ball out, came to Geary. Now a chance going inside was Nunes, and a beautiful kick it was too. And Sipos, who's got a lovely kick on him, just needs to go back and relax and put it through.
He's got some talent, Aaron Sipos, and he's about a 10 to 12 possession per game player. And this lad does that fine, but what he needs to do is to learn how to plump his stats up with 2 or 3 cheap possessions a match. 2 or 3 more cheap possessions will give him at least 1 goal more, because he kicks it beautifully.
And no exception with that one. Right through the middle, he splits the 2 posts. That is a beautiful goal and exactly what St Kilda needed.
Yeah, he's a beautiful kick, Derm, isn't he? And it can be that next future target for them in that forward 50. But Nunes was the one who set it up. That was pretty clever. He sold the pup.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get a look here. Here he goes. He just sells the pup there to Dowhouse and hits him right on the chest. He was fantastic against Adelaide last week. Nunes had 25 disposals and was a great contributor, and probably then their top couple best players last week.
It's a good sign, isn't it, when the ball's left the boot half a second ago and you've already gone to the fist pump. It's not even a third of the way there and he's got the fist pump on the ready.
Last 2 games have been good from Nunes. 25 possessions against Carlton the week before was biggest possession game of his career, so he is in hot form. Good tackle on Montagna.
Future captain, Dwayne, I think, down at St Kilda, down there at Seaford these days.
Huge wraps. Lower, inside 50.
good
Stringer! Well, the Dogs have got their 3 young recruits playing together for the first time this afternoon. Jake Stringer, their pick 5 in last year's draft, their first pick. Jackson McRae, their pick 6, their second pick. And Nathan Hrovat, their pick 21 in last year's draft. This is what it's all about for the Dogs.
On the far side, we've got Addison, who laid that tackle to turn it around. He's in the hands of the trainer. He just cannonballed himself into that tackle. He's in a bit of strife.
Just turned 19 years of age. Directly out, got close to the man on the mark. Put him off.
Needed that one.
Good contested grab though, boys. You like them taking them like that.
Yeah.
So Jack Stephen for the Saints to get it outside 50. It's been intercepted. So Stevens, 55 out, kick inside. He's turned it straight over. So Robertson, they get the ball going, this time through Geary. Long kick out towards McAvoy. Minson flies from behind. No slap on the arms of the umpire. Free kick. It's coming back against Jones. It'll be 50 if he doesn't get it back quickly. Griffin's got it. At half-forward flank, and the 50's on. He was always going to give away 50.
But I don't think he should have had 50 for that. I mean, maybe 50 initially when he took off and had the bounce, but he just let that ball fall.
You just got to put. I agree with you, Dwayne, but they just got to put it beyond doubt, don't you? And he's been left out of the side the last couple of weeks, Jones, and Scotty Waters will just be thinking, "What are you doing, son?"
He was just intent on pushing it to the letter there, wasn't he? You could just tell. Griffin comes in, a cheap goal. They haven't had many of those this year, the Doggies. They'll enjoy that one. Scotty Waters will be very, very upset, and they get over to Jones just to let him know, "Thanks, mate, that's one for us." Everyone's having a go, Dirk.
Well, why wouldn't you? That's the only thing you can do these days.
Let's have a look at this.
There's the free. Okay. Now he takes it up the ground, pretending he thinks it's his. That's not 50.
No, that's not 50.
It's not 50. I mean, if he said to that boy, catch that.
Oh, look at that shot.
Otherwise, you're a spud. He catches it. It's lucky it didn't hit him in the chest.
15-point margin though. Biggest lead of the game to either team. And if you have joined us late, the Saints led by 11 points in the opening term when they kicked the first 2 goals of the game. The Dogs have been off the leash since then. Scramble forward. Jones caught by Geary. Stanley couldn't get it out decisively. Coming hard, Boyd. Flicks it wide to Griffin. Hunting in packs the Dogs. Jones, little fumble. Rolled in the tackle, got it still, gone. Umpire McBurney.
Ahmed Saad's intent and to tackle has been the best I've seen this season so far. That's the first one he gets reward for. But he's laid a few already.
Sold it easily to Jones, did Saad. Slides the kick in McAvoy's direction, just over his head. Stephen gets there, shrugs a tackle, flicks it out to Milne. Kickable by Milne standards. He's as good as it gets when it comes to roving a quick goal.
If that goal's not kicked by Milne, we'd probably sit back here and say, how good is that? That's an extraordinary goal. Look at this, 1, 2 steps from the paint of the 50 and it goes through half-goal height. Only because it's Milne and he's kicked hundreds upon hundreds of those times.
558.
There you go. We just sort of think, yeah, that's to be expected. That is an exceptional strike.
A few have been a little easier than that.
Oh, well, if you get 500 plus, you're bound to get a couple of Joe the Gooses along the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a quality street, that one. That was an absolute beauty, as you pointed out, Doom. 2 steps and a beautiful strike on the ball, and he's put it through for the goal. And St Kilda needed it. They're back in this now. They've kicked 2-1 this term. Inside 50 for the Bulldogs. Jones gets pushed to the ground. No free kick. Here's a chance for Dullhouse. Over the top. Grant gets through. Almost got through and gone.
Holding the ball.
Too long and a boundary umpire tip from on the ground. Now the Saints are in trouble. They've got to lock it in here. The Western Bulldogs. It's Robert No, who's got composure. Holds it up.
Master's come on long.
And that's where he's going. Master's got to go. Young from behind. Gets enough body on him. Stephen over the top. Tries to get the handball going. And Stephen gets it, as you heard from the umpire. Right on defensive 50. Robertson again.
Hold it there, Luke. Thank you. Down.
A little short kick. Oh, is in the air a while, Del Santo. Good enough to take it in front of his eyes.
Trying to spread this Bulldog defence. Farron Ray.
There's a fair bit going on off the ball here on the wing between Clay Smith and Lee Montagna, and he's just put him to ground.
Okay, and a free kick's been played. Kingy, well spotted.
Great call, Kingy.
It's been going for about a minute, this one. It's got personal, and I must say the young kid has held his own.
Well, if anyone can spot a personal battle on a footy ground,
Right, David King
it's how David King.
He was the instigator of many personals. Lenny Hayes, long kick. Rewalt doesn't get a jump at it. Stevens crumbs. Trickling kick through some legs. Stephen gives to Hayes. Back to Jones, who owes them one. Wobbles it. Oh, can you believe that?
Good catch. That was a floater going in.
And now the big long runner.
I think Jones has squared the book there.
He has to kick it first.
Oh, she's your hard marker.
And he normally kicks it.
I was out on the ground before the game. You and I both were,
Yeah, I was
Roo.
watching him too.
And Ahmed Saad took, and I was within 5-10 metres watching him kick. And you think it looks long on TV. Out there, it's like watching grass grow. In fact, I reckon I saw a couple of blades grow while he was coming in. He's going to get a bit close here.
But it's normally effective. And if it works, why not?
Stick with it.
What about in those warm-ups, Doom, when you only have 1 or 2 balls, or you lost a couple of balls and one bloke's down at 50 and he's taking 30 seconds to have a practice? You never get a shot, do you? Yeah, it's an hurry up. I want to have a kick as well.
That was the Montagna free behind play. And here's the scatter sponge ball. Do you know, when you're having kick-to-kick with your mates, how difficult it is to kick a floater like that?
So try and break your mate's fingers.
Yes, exactly. Footballers love that game, 1st to 30, and if you drop it, you go back to naught. You get around the high 20s, you throw a couple of them in.
Uncontested possessions is blowing out now, kicking 83-48 in favour of St Kilda. They've kicked 3 of the 4 goals in this term, and we're back to a real ball game here. Just 3 points the difference, and the doggies have gone to sleep, as they always seem to do, for a little period of the game. Montagna, who's fired up, got the last free kick. Good bounce coming the Saints' way. Out comes Meister again. Got the handball out. Umpire McBurney right over the top of that one. That was almost 50 as well. Meister, little chip out wide. Lee Montagna, has he lifted since he got into a bit of a scruff of a fight there? Up towards Rivalry, just got knocked out of the contest. Jones again, look back to Rivalry, goal! He's never out of the contest, the superstar. And Rivalry gets another one.
Well, it was a beautiful kick by Montagna. You'll see Rewalt put his arm up. He says, kick it back into the middle, I'll compete. And Jones nearly got the goal himself, but Rewalt followed it up and got it. Here it is. Rewalt standing in the goal square, actually telling him to kick it there. Up goes Nick. And Jones, good effort. And Rewalt backed it up. Eddie, you said they go to sleep, the Bulldogs. It's 34 disposals to 16 in this second quarter.
Yeah, 3 in a row now to the Saints, and they're back in front.
Can I just say that the rule of rolling into somebody's legs, do you reckon Brett Goods thought about this here? Now, see, he stayed on his feet rather than dive on that ball at the end of the square.
But is that a good thing that he didn't jump on the ball?
I reckon he would have got only the ball.
Lower. Shrugs the tackle, lost the ball. Just got some spice in at this contest. There were pushes and shoves before the opening bounce. I don't think either team care about their ladder position right now. I don't think the fans are caring. This is a good contest. Might be 15th against 16th. But it's a hot, even contest and it's enjoyable to watch.
I'm right here.
Reckon Lower just caught one in the eye, boys.
And he did that a couple of weeks ago, caught one to the eye, so we'll keep an eye on that, if you like. Fisher.
Montagna, that's good thinking. Just ran forward to the footy. There's coming back into shot.
And Dwayne, Jeff, if I can indulge for a second, this is why I reckon the AFL should change the fixture so that the back half of the year the lower clubs play each other, because these are good games and the fans come and they want to see a contest, not these blowouts that we'll see at the end of the year with the current fixture.
Yeah, this is enjoyable as any contest to watch right now. Goods bangs it towards half forward. Dempster, a man from Snowy Rovers, heads wide. Montagna wants to play on. He's got McAvoy on the run. Big McAvoy lopes toward it. He waited for Mason to get there first. Pokes it inside 50. Rewald! Not quite. Had to jump. Geary, Ross, Fisher, Hickey. Hot pressure. Meister, Gwilt. Back in the Rewald direction. It's tough, so it'll be play on. Rewald tries to strip it and go. Goods gets back. Young floats it over. Griffin knew, and that's a wobbler from Goods. That might be a turnover. Hayes to make them pay full price. Post. That would have been 4 goals in a row to the Saints. And every Bulldog fan can breathe a sigh of relief.
But Kingy, I know you're watching Will Minson at the moment. We saw McAvoy peel off to the half-forward flank and Will went back into the space, but just couldn't read the incoming ball. He had a chance to absolutely gobble that one up, but did not read the flight of the ball.
Scotty Waters' game plan today, boys, was to keep the ball in their forward 50, really press up, because he believes the Bulldogs' turnovers, they are the worst in the competition from going from defensive 50 to forward 50, and so it has been this quarter. The Saints have kept it up this end. The Doggies have got to get some respite up the other end, but it's not going to happen because Meister's taken a beauty and is going to line up, as Dwayne said, to kick maybe 4 in a row for the Saints.
Eddie, to back up your stat, this quarter the Western Bulldogs are going at 45% with the kick, so you're no hope of winning any part of the game if you go up 45.
So, no touch on Meister there as he ran at the footy. It was Roughhead. You saw him take the straight line to the ball. What he needed to do was work the right-hand shoulder of Meister.
So you're in the right position on Fox Footy. You be the judge on that one. It started right and didn't ever come back. So 2 shots at goal. And the Saints could have really put the sword to the Bulldogs in this term, but the Doggies just need to keep their composure here and get it up the other end.
Johannesen. So now the squeeze comes from the Saints.
Play on, play on.
Not 15. Liberatore told to go. A wobbler. McRae waits for the bounce. Gets away from Hayes. Play on. Now he wanted to stop for the free. The umpire didn't let him. McRae would have got a free for too high. The umpire made him play on. Sipos steps a couple and bangs it home. Oh, that hurts.
Horrible advantage call.
Yep. Stay with us. It's just been simmering.
Stay with Master. Ruffy. I got it. Thanks. I got it.
Just been simmering. Once again, the strike from Sipos.
Watch this now.
He gives the handball and goes again. He did take the decision.
Might have been a bit high, the tackle from Milne here.
I reckon it was.
Yeah.
He turned him. That's what the umpire saw. The umpire saw him from side on, but you reckon he's gone with the This strike is beautiful, though. Wham.
It's powerful, isn't he?
Oh, gee. The old man Attila's up in the stands watching, cheering on.
Attila Sipos used to sit in front of us at the football when we were calling Durham on Triple M, and he used to love it with his little boy there, Aaron. He used to kick the ball up and down the aisleway at VFL Park when watching his beloved Saints and say, "Get out of the way, kid."
Straight up.
He was. He used to stick his head up. We have to sit down, will you? And now we're calling him out there kicking great goals. He's got 2 tonight too. Aaron Sipos, a boyhood dream to play for the team that you've loved, and he's out there. Not only is he playing for them, he's playing beautifully. Now the Doggies have got to get it up the other end. Come on, guys, get moving. And they do now through Johannesson, who just kicks a high up and under. They need a mark, they need a free, and they got the free. Addison has been fantastic.
And you're right, they do need a mark. They've taken 2 marks in the last 10 minutes of football, the Western Bulldogs. They just need to work hard through the midfield to provide some uncontested mark options. It's too hard for them at the moment. They just haven't got the skill to back up those lasered targets.
Fisher has gone to Tom Williams on this ball as it comes in. Reece Stanley is further deep in defence, and he's up against Jones for the longer ball.
So they worked it well, the Bulldogs. Got the separation. Tom Young's got it.
Well, Jones is not leading.
Kick to the forward pocket. Almost. Griffin, he's the man they want to have the ball in his hand. Umpire said his foot was over the boundary line when he got the kick on it, so it'll come back for a throw-in, which will be a better result for the Bulldogs.
I don't know if he works hard enough, Jones. Jeremy, does he?
Even that kick that was marked and had to come back, as soon as he sees his teammate go to it, he's got to forge to the front.
Williams gets a tap to Boyd. Goods ridden into the ground. Clances the umpire, who was turned on the tackle. Hayes for St Kilda. Bouncing around, loses the ball. Hard stuff at the moment. Going in hard with Stevens.
Gee, they're having a crack, aren't they?
They're all in there. Nunes gets one in the head from his teammate.
I know people say, oh, it's the game you're calling, but they are ripping in there. This is the Griffin out of bounds. As soon as you're a forward ahead of this, you've got to forge to the front then. That stayed in. That ball did not cross completely to the outside. But this is 15th playing 16th, and it's a really, really hot contest.
Brendan McCartney's reacted here, boys. He's put Rob Murphy behind the ball just to get some composure and some kicking skills in that back half.
And there's the kicking skills that fail against Stevens. It was almost deliberate. They'll at least win a ball in.
He's having a rip, though.
I think it's a good move, putting Murphy behind the ball if he can impact it and try and get some run through halfback and through the centre to get the ball inside 50 when they're one-on-one.
Both teams know this is the win that can keep their season alive. Continue to give them hope. Keep their fans coming to the footy. Free kick. Saints ball.
I agree with the Murphy positioning down back. The best the Doggies looked last week, oh, that's a shank, was when Cooney was running the ball out. Now, can Murphy give them that type of offensive run?
Young to Smith. Didn't quite hold it. Quilt caught high.
And Murphy's only had the one disposal in the second quarter, boys. He's getting starved of opportunities, so good move, I think.
I'm going to tempt fate here, but the umpires have been fantastic today. They've been really good. Steve McBurney has been very, very good. Just a firm hand out there so far. So right under the ups, we'll give them a rap when they deserve it. Gary's kick is a good one again.
This is Ahmed Saad's best game of the season I've seen him perform. He's probably kicked a few more.
Off to Milne.
He's
Kicks
come
out
from the
in front of
opposite
his
wing.
champion. Skippy's run out of petrol there for a second. Nick
He's
Reebok.
exhausted.
He came from the opposite wing half-back flank to get on that lead.
He
That's good.
says, thanks for making me run another 50 metres and the ball not to get to me. So here's Murphy, who David King said has been put behind the ball by the coach Brendan McCartney. The handball over the top came from McRae. These young Bulldogs are showing something today. They need a goal to keep themselves in this match, not to get blown away. Rovac in his first game. Keep going, son. He runs all the way. The left foot kick was a tired one. It might come off with a bounce. Stanley comes out for St Kilda, knocks it forward. Rovac goes again. Some real gut running out there. Over the top of Sipos. Stronger body. Dollhouse. That's a beautiful tackle. Umpire said no. That's another good tackle from Liberatore. How many times have we said that over the years? A great tackle from Liberatore. Tom, this time. Stephen got one in the back from Picken. And umpire McBurney was right there.
And you see Tom Liberatore near Steve McBurney has just clenched the fist at him and yelled rubbish. They are emotionally in this contest up to their back teeth.
And so's the crowd right now. Milne gets the traditional boos. Put it behind Montagna. That's the one you give so you get it back.
Oh, look out. Oh.
Tries to part the seas. Doesn't quite. Ball. It's hard at the moment. This is a quality contest.
Yeah.
Between two teams who are playing this like it's their grand final, like their season rides on.
He could have got cleaned up then, Milne. 10 years ago, you would have taken the opportunity.
I reckon the Dogs have invested a lot in this last 5 minutes. They need a return. They need a goal. They need the next goal.
Stringer to Goods. Boyd.
Well, they're getting hard run off the half-back flanks now, Kingy, and they've got to get reward for it.
Smith. Now Minson's leading long to the square and he can't get it there. Turnover. Farron Rowe. Ross. And he parts the seas. Finds some space where there was none. Dump behind play.
Holding end
50, so it's not McAvoy's ball. It'll come all the way to the other side of the square.
Now it's not for any. It's not for any dissension. If you look at Sam Fisher, he gives the ball. He's then tackled after he's given the ball and dragged to his knees.
He's having a beauty stew, Big Bernie.
Now watch it here. Oh, it wasn't Sam Fisher. It was Seb Ross.
And this becomes a big kick. Short pass. Couldn't hit Sipos. Murphy. Boyd. The crowd roaring themselves hoarse at the moment. Smith pokes it to Rover. Not 15. You heard the call.
They're going to take it on here, the Bulldogs. They need to move the ball quickly through this midfield part of the game when they've got an extra number across half back.
And Stringer holds it up.
See, I'm watching Jones at the other end. He just doesn't work hard enough, Roo. You're onto it. He had to actually hit the space ahead of that footy, and it was an 80-metre lead. Gee, if it's good enough for Revolt to run 120 to get on a lead, you'd think that young Jones could run 50.
Chipping it around to get plenty of marks now, Kingy. They're not doing much with it.
No, they've got to be brave. They've got to move the ball faster through the middle part of the ground, the Bulldogs.
Well, what they've got to do now is bring it to this side to open the defence out and then go in hard. If you go in hard from here, you're cooked. All right, now let's get it in motion, get down and move it over this side quick and go in fast.
Hennison brings it out to Picken. This is an important kick, has to hit a target.
Righto, Bobby.
And does. Now Murph go. And does. Inside 50 with the kick. Oh, great play by Stephen. Dalhouse at the fall of the ball. In he goes again. Stevens missed the target. He'll have a second go. Murphy is there. Tries to flick it out. This has really lifted this game. Liberatore to Picken to Stevens.
Well,
We're going to be number one. Now's the chance for the Bulldogs. Now they must get a goal. Boyd goes short with a kick. It's punched away from Griffin. Well done from Jones. Boyd goes over again. Reloads. This time it's the high. Up and under. Getting underneath was McAvoy. Fall of the ball. Stringer is there. Goods goes in as well. Dalhouse puts the tackle on and we'll get a ball up 20 metres out from goal for the Western Bulldogs.
And Dempster still from that sucking in the big ones. He was on the haunches for 30 seconds and one come off. It means too much at the moment.
Been top shot from both teams. Dempster got up and won it. Williams. Picken. This is the kick though. Heads wide. Stringer drops it. Dempster right with him again. Stringer fights on. Outside of the boot. Outside of the boundary. Free kick Saints.
Now Stringer might have dropped that mark, but here's that clash again from Dempster. There was nothing in it. It was a good hit.
Oh, but the point of the hit into the back of the rib cage.
Yes.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's got a crack in there. He's back down on the haunches, Dempster. He's had to go 2 more times since that. He's as brave as they come, that bloke. Yeah, and he played with a broken thumb a few weeks ago.
Nick Revolt free kick. Prohibited contact. So St Kilda get outside their 50. They'll be filthy on this, Brendan McCarthy. Watch this. Yeah.
He's the only one in the competition that gets that free kick.
See, that was pretty soft, really.
Yeah, well, they got the ball where they want it, the Bulldogs. No excuse needed to give the umpires a chance to give it away. Roughhead over to Goods. David King says they need a goal here for their hard work, the Bulldogs. Morris goes backwards. They must keep possession. Good little chip kick from Johannesson.
Attack the goal face.
Rovat in his first game. Looks up, not much on. There's no one long. He has to go short. It's a good kick. And Stevens has provided something.
He's been good. He's a bit shabby by foot. But I'll tell you what, I've only seen him play limited amount of times, but Jeez, that's a rip, this boy. What's he playing in his...
He's only in game
19.
number 19. He's kicked 3 goals, 3 coming into today's game.
He's got Quilt on the bench
He's
here.
got one already today in the first term. A boy from Lucknow. Well, they certainly need some luck now. In he comes, Kobe Stevens. From right on 50. It's long. It's strong. Is it enough? No. Touched on the line.
Was it a Falcon? On the line.
Don't mention Falcon this week.
No.
Saints trying to get it out on the rebound. Lenny Hayes holds it up with a minute left.
Endangered species, unfortunately.
Dempster. Now Robertson. And this might be out on the full. Oh boy, just on the line. Stanley under some pressure. He's got 2 to beat. Goods tunnels him.
He tried to sneak up then, Goods. Even as a much shorter man, it's just an early jump, and with your knee, you move him under the ball.
Zard clever with the body. Pounces. Rewell wants it short. In his direction. Over his head. Gordon. Morris. Little fumble. Uncharacteristic fumble. And we'll get a ball in. 32 seconds to half-time.
He has worked Morris into the ground here.
Now this will break Bulldogs' hearts. If in 30 seconds they get one here, they've dominated the last passages of play without getting any reward on the scoreboard, but they've got back to 10 points. They're right in this, but the Saints could crack them with this last 26 seconds. So the throw in just outside the 50 for St Kilda. Hickey at the back gets the tap. They hold it up. Bulldogs just want to run the clock down here.
Keep watching random boys.
18 seconds. Clock starts when the ball goes up. Minson gets the front spot. Hayes almost a free kick. In the end, lower. Cop one high and will take the free.
And Nick Lower wants to just let him know. He thought it was 50, Nick Lower. Nick Lower just wanted to let him know, I've got your number. You may not get reported for that, but you're in my report book.
Gentle little reminder from the umpire there. Just thought Nick might have been seeing some stars. There we go. Nice coming together there. Steve McBurney going over, just saying, there you go, Bill, you're going that way. Now head over to the halftime break and go and have an orange. Good stuff. St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. We've got a ripping game this afternoon. It's St Kilda by 10 points. 8-4-52. Bulldogs 6-6-42. We're going to have a good look at the reactions to last night at the MCG and a good look at this game as well as we go into the second half. Final game for both teams. We've got a beauty. You're watching it exclusively on Fox Footy.
Take the game on and try and get the ball in the forward 50 a lot faster than they did in that second quarter.
I just have to, while we're talking about the Indigenous players, Nicky Winmar was incredible. You could drop him into today's game right now with the fitness he had then, and he would be seamless how he'd take to today's modern game.
As we saw, great in the air, silky skills, great runner between the lines. Neil Elvis Winmar, what a star. So, he said he wanted the Saints to have a crack. Let's see how they go. Rovat's been very good in his first game. He got that ball out with a handball, off hands. Here's Addison. He started beautifully, and look at that one. Addison kicks his third, and the Doggies are back in this game in a big way.
Well, he's been lively, hasn't he, Derm? And just a great opportunist goal there by the small forward, back into the team for the first time today. Have a look here. Was in there. That was the young fella Rovac, got the ball out. Boyd, who had a fantastic second quarter with 12 disposals. Addison goes up for the mark. It falls in his lap, but he kicks the goal, makes the most of it, and he's been very good today.
What is worth noticing is that Goods has gone to the forward line.
Murphy's in the back pocket on Sard.
So he's swapped around down there, and it even looks like Roughhead's gone forward, because young Jones has not touched the ball, and we're into the third quarter.
From the restart. If you've just joined us, this has been a fantastic seesawing contest. The Saints opened up an 11-point lead early. The Western Bulldogs hit back and led by 14 points at quarter time. And right now it's back to a 4-point margin. Mad scramble in the middle.
So Hickey's pushed forward for the Saints. He's to the left-hand side of screen, and Tom Williams has gone back. That's the swap with Roughhead. Now that's going to be he'll ask him plenty of physical questions here. Can he run out the game, Tom Williams?
Looking for an attempt.
Just having a look at the debutant, Nathan Rovat. He's only had the 9 disposals, but he's had 5 score involvements. That's exactly the type of player that this club's looking for.
He's quality. He won the Northern Knights best and fairest playing just 8 games. It's a fair effort. Must have been a good 8. Fahrenheit, Milne went sky high and legally, according to the umpire.
Put the whistle to the mouth and then let it go.
Sard rolled in the tackle nicely. Didn't have Pryor, according to the umpire, and will get a ball up.
I reckon there was a couple up there. Yeah, well, Picken's gone the same time, so good call. I reckon he said that was an even Stevens. Up goes Milne, up goes Picken. Great to see a Picken going for the big fly. Some great memories. His dad, Billy Pickett. Stevens has been fantastic. He gets the ball out to Rovat. Big passage of play coming up here now. 4 points of difference. It's been a great battle. Jones,
that's impressive.
Griffin.
Clinton Jones against Griffin.
Now he's been driving Griffin badly all day.
Getting high, blowing the whistle.
Lashed out the wrong way. Get on here.
So the kick comes in from Stephen. Rewalk goes past him. Allows Morris to pick up. Into the centre corridor. Goods looks out. It's a wobbly old mongrel kick, but it sits up nicely for Jones in the end.
Touch number 1.
So Jones kicks up towards the wing position. Good play by Williams. Addison it was, in fact. Rovat, he has shown plenty. Williams, fantastic in the first quarter. Goods over the top. Roberton for St Kilda tries to break through. Got a British Bulldog going on out there on centre wing.
Keep surging forward.
And it's back-to-back for Jones. He had just 1 kick and 1 goal last week before being subbed out in the 3rd term. So
He doesn't work hard enough, Graham.
back-to-back bad performances. Montagna back inside 50. Murphy, who does work hard, can't mark it. Rewalt got it from Sard. Gives it to Sipos, who knows within range. It's a wobbler across the face, and this sits up nicely for the run out from defence.
Good chase.
Does well. The youngsters have done okay. McRae, Stringer and Rovat have all played their role.
Let's go, let go now. Let go.
Oh, he gave him one there, Stringer. He gave Dempster one, and Dempster sucked him in.
You don't act the goat in front of Stephen McBurney. He just will pick it every time. He reads the play well. He knows what's going to happen.
Oh, he played on.
And he picked it again.
That's holding the ball. He just dribbled it out. We're the only sport in the world who gives latitude to players when they play like that because we feel sorry for them. We're the only sport that does it. Why do we do it?
It's the weekend for empathy, Durham.
Already he's wrapping up Steve McBurney.
That's not him. That's the standard. It's been set by every umpire in this sport. Now what's the left one? Yeah, that's there.
Dumb.
1 metre.
That's not a report. It's just a free kick.
Yeah, and that's what he got. Good stuff. Throw in.
And then we felt sorry for a bloke.
Flick down to Ryan Griffin, going nowhere. Jones wearing him like a glove. Oh, and he gave him one then, Jones. And now Jones will get it.
You can't fall for it. You can't get him high.
It'll be 50 if he's not careful.
Ryan Griffin yells, "You can't fall for that."
Let's have a look.
I reckon a footy hit him in the jaw, did it?
Point of the shoulder.
Was there a free in that?
Depends how soft you want the game to be, really, isn't it?
Jones shoots a goal. And that hurts big time. Saints back out by 10.
The most famous report for a shoulder strike. Phil Carman on Gary Sidebottom. Seconds later, Phil Carman on Graham Carberry.
Got 4 for the shoulder, 16 for the headbutt.
Yeah.
Nothing in it. There was nothing in it. They just showed the other angle. He didn't even hit him.
I'll tell you what it has done. It's put some emotion into this game. The Dogs are on edge now. You can just see they're starting to instruct. They're starting to point. They're a bit angry. I think this next 5 minutes could tell us a lot about the Western Bulldogs in the future.
Boys, tell us about Jones. He's got in the head of Griffin, who
Have a
is
look at this.
the star of this team. being held.
Yeah.
Nothing in
You
it.
could honestly say it was a free kick for being held when the ball wasn't in play, but anyway, that would be getting pedantic. We don't want that to happen. Stephen kicks inside. The corner opens up. Del Santo with a big, long left foot. Here comes Revolts!
Gee, use the hands there.
Good prediction skills, Eddie.
Well, when Nick Revolt is the man under the ball, you can take the risk that he's going to have a good go at getting it. Now, he kicked one from here early in the first quarter. He steps around and hits the post. So 2 goals, 2 to Nick Revolt. 2 posters for the night. Look at this. Good play.
Ball on the back.
Would have been a free a month ago.
A fortnight ago. No, we're just changing the rules easy. We're just easing into it every week. It's good.
Johannes, a little bump, and it works for Hickey.
By grand final day, we'll have it right.
Stephen.
They usually do.
Back to Rewald in a one-on-one.
Got it.
There's a hold. And it's Pickens' ball. Rewald thought it was his.
Now, that's when you have to use common sense, though. It's not as if a 6'5" key forward who's controlling the situation wants to grapple with a 5'9" back pocket. Who starts what?
Tell you what, with each passing minute, more venom gets injected into this game. Geary dumped into the turf. Boyd can't break free. Crowd continue to roar. And we'll get another ball up just outside 50.
Let's have a look at this one.
Yeah, you're right, Derm.
It's a mark.
It's a mark. The small man is under pressure.
That's
He's
right.
going to grapple on for dear life. Gee, should have been a free kick and 50 to Revolt.
I knew I was pushing my luck.
I'll tell you what would be a good idea now, lads, would be to sub Liam Jones out of the game. That is a free kick every day of the week. Is to sub Liam Jones out of the game and get Daniel G and Syracuse in at full forward and change the mix.
Yeah, at least he's going to be a get-about at full forward and give you something to think about.
Kingy, was the idea to get Williams to be the sub, but they might have to change that the way Jones is going.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to change that. I think Williams was out there with all likelihood to play probably 3/4 of football, but the game's in the balance. They're still right in this game, the Doggies, and I think that Liam Jones is not really offering a lot. It's time to sub him out, I think.
They're going to run out of steam too, the Doggies. Their run in the midfield is too few, so they can't rotate.
Great play by Stephen. Kick was smothered, but he took it about 30 or 40 metres, which was great football to centre wing. G and Syracuse are getting ready to come on.
Gee, these two teams are very similar. Both of them, in their absolute team lists, are quite thin for midfielders.
In fact, they're very similar. Both teams have coaches in their second year, and both teams are enduring horrific premiership droughts, 66 and 54, and both teams are rebuilding.
Throw in. Again, Minson.
Ryan Griffin being held. Ryan Griffin being held.
There you go. The umpires having a good look now. So they've got on to Jones and Griffin.
Yep.
So both players should be well aware now that they are the focus of the umpire's attention at those stoppages. Ball comes out to Johannesson.
Now Murphy's kicked that, and he and Roughhead are sitting back in the centre, and there was only one player between them, and neither of them took off. They don't spread.
Gee.
The press was on. The pressure went on to the Bulldogs, and now the turnover is complete as Meister gets the kick out wide. The chance for Stephen again. Little chip to the forward 50 to Milne. He's 55 out. Decides to go long and strong. He wants Revolt in the square. Great play by Morris.
Yep.
That was sensational.
Now, we sing the praise of the experienced blokes, but Murphy's desire not to spread them cost the Doggies. He's such a smart player. I don't know why he rested back onto the heels then.
Johannesson towards Griffin. Buffeted out of it, so it's Dalhouse's ball. Back to Griffin as Jones hunts down Dalhouse, so he gets a touch on him. Stevens attacks it, clean bowling stringer. Geary shrugs the tackle. Hickey breaks free, and on the overlap, Stanley, who does he want? Rewalt.
Yep. Good body. Used the body right at the right time. It was a good kick. It was to his advantage side. Fair way out though for Nick.
It's got to go inboard. Reece Stanley fills up that space now side on. He has, as I said, the last month his kicking has been the best of his career at goal. But from 51, 52, that might just put him off direction a little bit, but he has been striking them nicely.
Biggest lead of the game to either team to this point, 14 points.
There you go.
Until now, Saints lead by 18. Riewoldt has 3.
Well, they've dominated inside 50s here, boys. Have a look at it. It's 8-1 in this quarter. Only just got their second goal. But they're threatening to blow the game open, aren't they?
Stringer subbed out.
Well, you wouldn't have picked that, would you? Don't know if he's injured or what's going on, but he wouldn't have been my first pick.
Well, Liam Jones not touching it, but, and I'm not trying to be silly funny, but he should be fresh.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's got a bit of run in him because he hasn't run that hard.
And will he take a player away from Gio? Is that the option? He's now the dummy lead.
Well, it might have to be because Gio's a clever player.
It's coming from a man who was employed at Geelong as a dummy lead for quite a while. I'm talking to one of the great centre-half forwards of the game.
We'll work it out between you two.
That's right.
Here we go. Stevens. The Doggies are going to get the next goal. They have these periods in games where they just drop right off the pace. They need to get the next one. Rovac ducked his head, said the umpire. And the ball goes over the line out of bounds. Throw in, forward 50.
Gia's gone to the full forward line as expected, and it looks like Geary has gone to pick him up.
So Daniel G and Syracuse on the ground. Rovac again, Dalhouse, lower. Ball spills out from Johansson. The kick from Boyd was a bit of a mongrel. Here's a chance for Goods. Goods under pressure. Bounce, 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 goal! His first goal in football. What a weekend it's been for the Goods boys.
Yeah, and it's an interesting move to push him forward, Derm. He must have, I don't know if he's played there back in...
Playing high half forward now.
Yeah, I don't know if he's played there as back in the local comp where he come from or not, but they've pushed Murphy back, they've got him forward, so good to see the Goods boys having a great weekend in Indigenous round.
Oh, big sandwich.
Wasn't it?
Boyd,
Took a divot. That was a good kick under pressure.
Good power. He stood up in the tackle just for that half second.
Yeah, took 2 down. They needed that goal, boys. Been 7-4 to 2-2 since quarter time before that goal.
Minson up in the ruck against him, McAvoy. Minson almost the clearance and almost the free. McAvoy can't get the clearance. Minson coming off a 40 hit-out game last week. McAvoy beaten by Sam Jacobs last week.
So what's happening now? Doggies are trying to get an extra man in defence. St Kilda are not doing the same at the other end. They're pushing one extra player up to the ball, so they will outnumber the Doggies at the coalface, at the bounce down.
Dalhouse went to ground, and that could have him in trouble. You bet it does. Had to try and swoop on it and keep his feet. Stephen.
Move it on. Play on. Play on. Play on.
Everybody takes a breath. There's barely been time in this game for any player to take one. Short turnover. Stevens couldn't trap it. Ross keeps his feet. Del Santo wants to go backwards, not forwards. Little 1-2. Stephen, Del Santo, Ross. And now Saad.
Now they're over the loose man.
Fumble from Saad. Could be costly. Oh, brilliantly. He tight ropes the boundary line and finds Meister.
Yeah, once they got over that one, when Del Santo took the risk of drawing that man towards him, that loose man in defence came forward, and it was just like the old Chinese checkers to that point. Meister sat back. He just ran backwards for about 6 or 7 metres, but his man had to come up to the ball carrier. So important to corral on occasions and not charge the ball carrier.
It's been punch and counter punch all afternoon, and Meister lands another big one. Back to 18 points.
David King, that goal really hurts because they actually have really lifted the tempo here, the dog. You see how Hannison runs up to him?
That's not good enough, is it?
Yeah. So, Kingy, at ground level, you can sense that happening.
You can, and look, a lot of clubs cover the receiver. Don't worry so much about the man with the ball. Make sure that he's hemmed in, he's corralled boundary side, but cover the receiver. Don't let them out once you've got them trapped wide. It was just a simple mistake, and as you say, it was pretty much a matter of execution after there once they got through. But the Dogs are right in this. I know it's a 3-goal gap at this stage, and the Saints look like they've settled. Their class is still just keeping in it. These smaller players are keeping them in it, but that ball back into the corridor really hurt the Dogs there.
Boltonmeister really enjoyed that. Jones hooks it off the ground, and the mark has been taken back by Morris. Morris comes out wide to Stevens. Kobe Stevens been busy today. Half-back flank. Kick is good. Mark paid. Lower.
Stepped off the line.
Jones needs to come up and present here. He's just caught at the back of the pack again. Off hands, here's his chance.
You look at that, even that's going to be a, lucky call. But even when the ball was in dispute there, one St Kilda, 3 doggies went at it. So their intent is fantastic. It's the execution thereafter.
Great tap.
Vincent's tap was a cracker to Boyd, who puts it out in front of G Syracuse. First touch for the night. Coming on as the sub a few minutes ago, throw in the forward pocket.
Gee, Minson's improved as a ruckman, boys. I think he's leading the comp for hit-outs to advantage, and you just saw it there to Boyd. Great service by the ruckman.
Boyd does the ruck work himself on that occasion. Del Santo lower, just snapped the ball out and kicked it out in the full.
He led the AFL for hit-outs last year as well. Will Minson.
Big, strong unit.
He is.
Oh, he's a brute. And as bad as it sounds, in a ruckman, he's a bully as well. Which, you know what, you do want your ruckman to be one of those.
Absolutely you do. It's nothing worse as a midfielder to have an opposition ruckman that's aggressive.
Morris and Rewalt, good battle that. Lower had it but lost it, and will get a ball in on the wing.
Hasn't league football thrown up some bully ruckman over the years? The kids who grow up 6'6" in the schoolyard, and they carry it out to the AFL field.
A few softies as well, dude.
Oh yeah, they've got them on both ends of the spectrum.
Give us a rundown of the softies names that you can at some stage.
I did it after the game.
Stephen Milne pounces on this, sees Rewalt, sees Meister. Rewalt will do 1, 2, 3, not quite, buffing it out of it. Now, was he bumped in the marking attempt? Was he pushed in the marking attempt? Was that a legal spoil?
Didn't control it. He almost marked this by accident.
He didn't even.
He had his arm slapped in a marking attempt. That's a free. You can't slap an arm whilst the player's attempting to mark.
You know what? That's one of those ones where we go for. That's the theatrics of it. Overrule the pure decision.
Well done.
Is fired up. They need to get the next goal, you'd think, the old doggies. Still plenty of time, of course. Third term, 9 minutes ago, and a 50-metre penalty. And Stevens
Said he'd been busy, Eddie. That's his 20th disposal coming up now, Stevens. He's having a cracking game.
Dalhouse is free if you can find him. The ball's been lost. But Dalhouse is the one, boys. He's had one kick for the whole game. He's their spark.
See where you throw the hands up.
That's a ridiculous rule.
Because the umpires have got it into their, well, not the umpires, the rules committee have got it into their head that is a way of blocking the space or putting the bloke off. It's a natural reaction to say, I'm running out of the zone. They're the two, those two, just bin them. Rovats, kick is smothered, but they've still got it, the doggies. Have to go here, Liberatore over the top. Tom Young handles inside, Lower has his pocket picked, and the Saints are tripped, and they'll get a free kick on defensive 50, and the free kick will go to Nunes.
And another 50. Just to go on to that, as you mentioned, that's the topic at the moment of the 50 metres. When the player's within the enclosed area and he puts the hands up, it's one of the few things about AFL footballs where I reckon they're actually being honest.
Yeah, they're conceding.
Nunes' kick inside 50. Montagna gets the fall of the ball, but a good tackle from Goods there. Slaps out. They need to get this out, the doggies. They've got the numbers, and they will.
Addison's free on the wing. Boyd wants to go back, though, not forward. Now he looks up.
They're out of leg strain. See, there's no run going past, and they actually had the extra one there.
And they've got Gian Syracuse, who's the sub. He's not the usual sub. You need a fast, hard-running midfielder, but Gian needs to get into this game and provide some run.
It's open out here. Johannesson. Now, hard work from Stevens has him in a good spot. Kick out in front. If it bounces, he's away. Unkind initially. Tucked into the pocket. Rolls it. And touched by Gwilt into the post.
He's a goer, Stevens, isn't he?
Isn't he? Have a look at it. It's going to seem strange, but that close-up of Kobe's, he's got eyes like a great white shark. They're really dark.
You better come over to Lincoln and get in the cage, Derb, and have a look what they look like.
No cage for Durban. Let's just take them on.
One-on-one.
I think he'd scare the Sharks.
I'd like to see that.
You still got those shark skin boot shoes to go around the nightclubs in?
They were crocodile. I'll let them to you. What are you talking about?
Stephen kicks up towards centre wing. Punched away by Morris to Goods. What a weekend it's been for the Goods boys. Lower. Slaps it on his boot. Dalhouse is there. Good. Can his pocket pick? Yeah, Hunnison gets the handball going. Here we go. Big Will. Handball's out wide. Steady. Stevens lines it up and misses. No, he's got it. It's been back in the last. He's got it. What a game he's playing. Second goal to Kobe Stevens.
He's at 22 touches now, Eddie.
Shark eyes.
They're black. They're black. Look at them.
Watch out when they roll. 7 marks, 2 goals. Sold the pup. I thought he was going to sell it again.
The white pointer kicked the 6-pointer.
Fantastic. He's playing a cracking game.
Hard running, wasn't it?
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, they got it out the other side. There's something to be learned in that, though. They've been playing down the straight lines and looking for the impossible kick to the inside. See how dark they are? They're great white eyes. They come right around and out the other side and find free space. Then you can run on with it.
12 points the margin. The Dogs have a run on. Boyd. Smith holds it up. Jones leading inside 50. It's ignored. They don't trust him. Long inside 50 to Gian Syracuse. Spoils at the ground. Quilp got there. Crunched. Holding the ball. Free kick Dogs. Dalhouse hasn't kicked a goal for weeks. Nails it. And it's a 6-point game.
Gee, they've had a couple of very, very friendly umpiring decisions here, the Doggies, at the moment. I'll tell you what, let's have a look.
Guilty.
A smash there, and he got
a very, very late advantage call.
And there was one a couple of minutes ago as well at half-back, but anyway, you take what you can get.
Incorrect disposal, but normally when you get smashed in the head, you tend to let the ball go.
Oh, well, game on.
Yeah, good.
Good for us.
Yes, you don't want to walk over. If you're the Saints, you want to beat them at their best. And if you're the Doggies, same.
Another chain there for the Western Bulldogs, starting to use the ball better.
Starting to go through the corridor. Up goes Big Will. Down he goes again. Griffin gets the handball out. Great play by Smith inside 50. Almost is going to go. Dalhouse has got it. Gets the handball out to Liberatore. Liberatore, handball over the top. Here they go. Griffin looking for a red, white and blue jump, and he finds one. Johannesson gets it out wide. The kick comes in from McRae. Williams is there. Close to the boundary line. Stays in. Montaigne wanted the boundary line and found it. And umpire McBurney says, chuck it in.
Your Western Bulldogs small forward here. Just run straight to the front. They'll hit it down to the boundary side there. Try and find some space in front of the rucks.
Big Will slaps it. A backhander there. Montaigne to Ross. Couldn't clear the 50. In again goes McRae to Big Will. Pushes off to the don't argue to Sipos. Up to the hot spot. Beautiful mark. Geary comes in and takes it. That's great stuff. That's how you take a chest mark, Derb. Big knee up at full flight.
Well, it's the second time he's actually put himself in the hole and got to the dropping ball. This time he gloved it.
To Meister at half-back. Their lead's been cut to 6 points. They did lead by 18 earlier in this term. Dogs, you'd think have got a punch or two left. Morris punches. Ducks into that and gets it from Stephen.
Having a good period here, Dwayne. Their intensity at the contest is absolutely first class. I know they're getting a good run with the umpiring, but generally if you get in their first route, you reap the rewards.
Smith goes back.
Oh, this is what I like. If they can come completely out the other side, there is clean grass in front of them. There you go.
Murphy knew he only had McAvoy to beat. And he bounces away from him with a bit of arrogance and some speed.
Well done.
Griffin! You bet! This is to level the scores.
Well, that was brilliant bodywork by Griffin, wasn't it? He just leant on him. He got the body in the right spot. He took it on the chest. He's good up forward, Griffin, and
with his goal-kicking route.
That was a Bob Murphy rascally run, no doubt about that.
You think he dropped it deliberately?
He dropped it and then he just did a bit of road runner. Just look at this, just arched the back. Big McAvoy stretching.
is that holding the ball there or not?
No, it was almost the Kevin Bartlett bounce
You have to
then.
grab them.
Pardon?
You have to tackle them for holding the ball. And it's all tied up with 3 minutes 49 left in the third.
That's 5 for the quarter for the Western Bulldogs. They kicked 5 in the first quarter as well, so 5 got 1 from 9 inside 50s. That's good.
You have to tackle them. It's not touch footy. You can't just touch their
I thought if you had your hand on them and they bounced it.
You've got to apply some form of applicable tackle.
Yeah, retard them.
Yep. Hey, with that one, I was talking to Surioli once, and he said on the kick-ins, he sits off men he knows are the target to tempt the fullback to kick to them. Do you reckon Bob Murphy looked at him then and said, I might just make sure this bounce doesn't come back to me, so I draw him to me, and then I can step him.
Just like Cyril. 53 to 83, you might have seen that on your screen there. Here's our man, Kobe Stevens, is back on the ground after having a breather. Comes out the back. The other bloke, Stephen, gets it going. Del Santo, beautiful left foot kick. Look at that one.
That's why you want the ball in the hands of Nick Del Santo.
So Stephen Milne, 558 goals in his career, 266th game.
He's been kicking well of late too, and his kicking pre-match was very good.
Did he kick this one? Yeah.
It's just right on his range, I think.
Yeah, but he's
Need to all of it.
he won't clear the fence if he gets it through.
So right on 50 and hooks it, going for that extra distance. David King, boundary side.
I think the biggest change in the game, Ed's been the third quarter's uncontested possession battle. The Dogs actually lead this battle in the third term, 50 to 37. Their ball control's been a lot better. Their class players are showing why they are class players with ball in hand, and they're a real chance here, and you can feel them. Their energy is lifted and their work rate's lifted.
There it is, 37 to 50, and the Dogs will take it away from half back here. Williams.
That's better. In the first quarter, Dwayne.
Smith.
Play on.
I got it now. Yeah, in the first quarter, under pressure, he would have just blazed away, but he's got the tempo now.
Oh, turnover, Hickey, kick smothered, rough head, who's spent. He needs a breather. Oops, gave it up. Newnes stripped of it by Boyd. Milne didn't really get a handball away. Gwilt, gang tackled, dragged the ground, ball up.
Tough, hard footy now.
If you walked into this ground and didn't know these two teams were 15th and 16th, you'd say they're both contesting for a spot in the 8th. I mean, this is wonderful footy.
They're
the
desperate
commitment.
for a win, aren't they, Dave?
Absolutely.
Two ruckmen go into the game. He can try to thread the needle. He might have been able to back out of the pack anyway. Stephen, the shark, gets the ball out.
Sharks don't go backwards, did he?
Sharks don't go back? They don't stay still, that's for sure. Geary's been fantastic. Concedes some ground to Montagna to get the switch. Now, Revolt is out on centre wing. They hold up. Wilt. Now they've got the separation. Good play. Montagna looks for and finds Revolt, who worked hard, Dermy. Did 2 or 3 leads there.
Took a lead. Yep. That's what Aaron Sipos has to watch, the workload of Nick Revolt, and learn multiple leads in the one passage.
The only problem when he takes them up on those wings, Derm, is then they don't have anyone to go to, but they're probably damned if they do, damned if they don't.
So the Saints go forward now. This is a big moment for them. Fisher comes in, and the kick was a beauty.
Now this will test Ahmed Saad from this distance.
They need 2 Nick Rewalts, don't they?
Same again. When he can kick and strike the ball within a distance where it's just a caressing motion, no worries. Just his last 3 steps and delivery are wonderful. When he has to overstride on the last few, it tests him out. It'll take his best.
Huge kick. Saints by a point. inside the last minute of the third term. Long, deliberate approach from right on 50, high, up and under it, bends and hits the post. Third poster of the night for the Saints. Doom, you mentioned there the teaching role. I was talking to Scotty Waters, he said Lenny Hayes is out there teaching guys like Stephen and Ross and these guys how to play in the centre, and similarly he wants guys like Hickey to run around behind Nick Revolt and learn the game from him.
Yep. Well, you do. You learn from the champs within your team. You've got great leaders. They drag you in behind them.
Sipos has been told trail in behind him and learn where to run, and the same with Hickey.
And how hard.
You can't have all kids out there, can you? You've got to have a balance between inexperience and experience.
One last roll of the dice for the quarter here, the Dogs. They need to get it forward quickly. Saints tied up. Murphy can't break free with it.
What's on?
And everybody needs a rest. This has had sparkle right from the word go, this one. And it's going to go down to the wire. The Saints at three-quarter time by 2 points.
The Bulldogs, I think Kingy was right. They need to take advantage in the centre square with Will Minson. They've been one of the best sides in the centre square all year, the Dogs, and they need to do it in this last quarter to win another game.
Real fears down here, Ed, that it may be a left calf for Lenny Hayes. A left calf, which is a disaster for the Saints captain.
Yeah, just coming back from injury, Lenny Hayes today as well. Final term underway. Saints by 2 points. Umpire waits, gives them time, and we'll get a secondary ball up. If you've joined us late, the story so far, the Bulldogs held a 14-point lead. The Saints have held an 18-point lead. They're the biggest leads of the game to either team, and right now it's a 2-point margin. Boyd, high inside 50. Jones, who's hardly seen it, waits under it, doesn't get a chance here.
Murphy back forward.
Dalhouse almost stripped of it. Stevens to Jones, who gives away a free. Too high. Dal Sando's ball.
Sounded weird saying back forward, he's back up forward.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a bit of class on how to deliver a score.
Well, this man is usually class in his delivery, no doubt about that. He sets it up eye to the wing position, and Masha does it beautifully. Gets it off to Revolt, who has a paddock in front, decides to go along with a wobbly old kick. It's perfect though for Milne. Was he grabbed without it? He certainly gave the umpire plenty to look at. Milne just waiting. It flicks out the side. Sard, little handball over top. I guess he kept running. You wouldn't believe that. He has run 150 metres. He's like Usain Bolt. He just kept going and going until he got the money. Well done. You are a superstar, Nick Revolt.
And if you have a look at it, you see him at the top of screen there. And how good is Morris?
Amazing.
Morris is the one bloke who has enough willpower to try and stay with him. Cops the hit bump at the end. I mean, just 17 other backmen chasing Nick Revolt. Give up 50 before that.
Well, goal number 4 for the superstar. And he might just put another 3 votes in the Brownlow as well.
Well, he kicked 4 goals and got the 3 Brownlow votes the last time these two teams met. So he does like playing against the Dogs, and he's threatening to be the man again. From the restart, Minson trying his heart out to Stevens, likewise. Bang, gone. Stephen can't get it away. Goods taps it on. Lower gets back. Handball smothered by Sipos. Young, rough head, goes to ground. Dangerously, Montagna. Pickett got there first, and he jumped into Montagna's leg. And that's probably the reason the rule is in. He's hurt his leg, and that's the reason we had the rule.
That's a roll,
Not bad enough to give away a shot on goal. By the look, he hadn't hurt himself. Let's have a look here, Picken.
I reckon he did that to make sure he got the free kick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's
But his
suggesting
kneecap buries in the ground.
It jagged, absolutely jagged sideways.
Lee Montagna, as a hush, falls over Etihad Stadium. It's a Saints home game, but it's the home venue for both clubs. And Montagna pumps up the volume on cue. He's got 2, and the Saints have some breathing space.
Well, they've been slow out of the blocks again here, the Western Bulldogs, and St.Kilda are making them pay. 2 quick goals is exactly what they didn't want at the start of this last quarter. Here's the dive, and that is exactly why the free is in, Dwayne. As you said, could have done his ankle, could have done his knee, knocked out his leg. although years ago that's great footy by Picken, now you just can't do it.
But that angle there, that one there, you see a real flexing inwards of the leg. Well, he's very fortunate there.
Got his 200th next week as well, so we'll be hoping that he'll be around for playing in a big milestone game next week. But there's a bit to do still here for the Saints. From the ball up, McAvoy with the tap down lower, kicks it off the deck. Jones, they need him to find something. It might not be his game, but he needs to make it his moment. Gets it back again. No, Minson jumped in. The Gears handball back to Boyd. Squeezes it to Stevens. He's had a huge afternoon at the office. Steps around, drives it towards goal. Awesome! He's got 3.
The white pointer does it again, Dan.
Have a look at those eyes. They're as black as coal.
And he's giving him a bake on the way off.
Yeah, he is playing a good game. There's just a little bit of foot pace by Gio. Just, knowledge. He's not that quick these days, but knowledge of how to get around in there. The Saints are 2 away. They're still 2 goals away from putting this game to bed. And that is an awfully big 2 goals. The Doggies, if they keep coming at them, the door is ajar.
Doggies got to kick the next goal.
Yeah.
Need to kick the next goal. They're 8 points down. You don't know whether they could kick 3 goals to come back to win this game.
They've all come in runs for the Doggies.
They have indeed, Derm. So the last one was a run of 3. They get it forward again. Good.
Oh, well done.
Does it beautifully. Got a good battle with Addison. To McAvoy, who marks it centre-half back, takes it out wide. Good play. Fisher. Meister over the boundary line. Maybe Fisher's the one to go to your man, the shark, mate.
If only we had someone called Harpoon.
All right, here we go. They load up again. Minson and McAvoy have had a great battle. Minson's been fantastic today. Little Tommy Liberatore grabs the ball. It's going nowhere. Umpire takes the bounce on centre wing. Again, Big Will loads up and gets the tap, and Griffin with a beautiful clearing kick under pressure up towards the big man there in Jones, who's just has been cold today, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Ross. Geary's been great. Handball and keeps running. Good play. The give and go, almost. Webster, who is the sub, who's just come onto the ground. Jones and Griffin having their private war. Griffin with great strength, got his arm away twice there. Mason's been held by the leg by Tommy Young. Here's a chance. They've got players on. Now, that's good play. Gene Syracuse.
Well done.
Picken. High up and under. Holding and a free kick to the Bulldogs. They've got it. Williams free kick. Oh, no, it's not Roughhead, brother.
Yeah, that's Roughhead.
So Roughhead has got the free kick directly in front. He's kicked 11 goals, 20.
Is there much in that one? Didn't look like a massive amount of contact, but he's gone down forward and he needs to kick this goal.
It was there. He didn't need to do it.
I was just looking around there to see who was coughing the third ball up. It's not one of us up in the commentary box. Sounds like the umpire's having a bit of trouble down there. Big kick this one for Jordan Roughhead. 11 goals, 20 in his career. He kicks his 12th goal and we're back to 2 points.
Well, Kingy, you spoke about centre clearances. The Western Bulldogs haven't dominated this last quarter yet, but they have won all 3 centre clearances. They've won all 5 clearances in this last quarter as well. Their inside 50s are 4-2, so if they can keep doing that, you'd think they'll hit the front sooner or later.
Oh, absolutely, Roo. It's 8 goals to 3 from stoppages, 4 goals to 1 from centre bounces, and that's exactly the point you're making. If they tidy up their ball use, their clearance superiority will get them over the line. It's anyone's game, as you keep saying, but it's just their ball use that's always going to be the deciding factor.
And Addison again was great with the inside 50.
It's now or never for the Dogs, you sense. They've lost 18 of their last 19 games. There's 4 points on offer right here, right now. Farron Ray, Court, Stevens, who's played the game of his life. It's a PB for him. Jen Syracuse at a Boyd. Squeezes it wide to the man I'm speaking of. Stevens, half forward. Just over the head. Quill Caught by Jones. Out wide to Hickey. Quilt. Robertson.
Big kick.
And he sees Nunes, and it's a splendid pass. Not a lot to go to for Nunes. Has a breath. Heads wide to McAvoy. Good pluck over Young.
That was a great bit of work rate by McAvoy late in the game to be able to do that.
And a tough for Montagna. Milne down at half-back, lending a hand. Bounce pass. Works okay for Hickey. Makes it tough for Geary. Hunted down by Gian Siracusa. To half forward to Jones from Hickey. Does he want Saad? Does he want Rewalt? He goes central and he misses them both.
And it's in the corridor.
Turnover big time. Minson wanted to go. Thought about going. The 1-2 still on offer if he wants it.
Gee, Leon Jones had plenty of time to find a target there. That was Clinton Jones. Sorry.
Turnover to Ross. Should have given it back to Smith. Gives it to Ross. It opens up. Stephen inside 50. Drives it long. Rewalt might leave it. The game lifts another gear.
So poor old Will Minson there, Durham, just turned it over. He's played a mighty, mighty game.
If you're a ruckman, you never kick off 2 steps. Now, I know it sounds like we have fun at their expense, but if a ruckman wants to kick a short, sharp pass, he's got to have momentum moving towards a target. It's just the pure mechanics of it. You just can't have a leg that weighs 40 kilos expecting it to swing through smoothly at the target.
I think they need to look at Rob Murphy behind the ball again, the Dogs. When they put him there in the late second, early third, he really created some run and overlap carry for them. That's how they're going to win this game.
And as you can see there, the Saints by 32 points on turnovers. Out of the centre, Boyd. They need to reply quickly to Dogs. Up it goes. Anderson's been fantastic. Almost got it. Rough head. Good defensive pressure. It spills. Webster.
Now that's handy when you get a sub come on and be able to hit the target like that under pressure.
So Stephen has it. A glimpse of the future for the Saints with Webster. Paid the mark. Doggies fans say wasn't 15.
We're used to seeing the old number 29 Stevie Baker get punished after a mark.
Exactly. Everyone's up high. It was Minson who stayed down. Tom Young didn't get enough knuckle on that handball. Goes again. Didn't get any knuckle on that one. It was a throw, and the advantage is paid. And they're off to the races now. Del Santo's kick is smothered. He gets it on the rebound from 55. It's long, but it's going to be marked right on the line. Morris has got it.
Down behind play. Sipos.
In the hands of Trainer, so they're down a man right now, the Saints. A ball in, probably a good result.
Clash with goods.
Give him a chance to recover.
A couple of weeks ago, Dwayne, Hickey late in the game was instrumental for the Saints. He was fantastic. I reckon this young man has got a really good tank. If he stays away, like a boxer, he's got to stay away from Will Minson in the scrap-ups, but he's going to run away from him in general play.
Got a decisive possession there to Stephen. To Meister, not quite. Spills it. Crowd thought he deserved the free, and now it's against the Saints.
Now they've got to move it quickly here. The Bulldogs get up quickly, try and find the loose and move the ball on.
Young. Ton of time left in this.
Just don't think they've got the skill level to be able to chip it around and move it slowly from one end to the other.
8 points the margin. Young comes wide to Smith. Geary right with him through their hands. Geary keeps it alive, takes him on with speed to Jones. Run down by Stevens. He is having the game of his life. The rebound kick poor though. Straight through Gilbert's hands. Gian Siracusa waits for the tackle. Gwilt feeds it to Dempster. Wants a pass target. Nothing there. Murphy up. Got hands to it. To the back. Sipos is up. And he pumps it. Saad's about to jump early. Got the fist on it. Jones sees the line, takes it there.
Dermy, the senior players of the Western Bulldogs for weeks have wanted an opportunity like this to be in a game halfway through the last term. This is their time now. They need to control the game from here and find a way to get across the line.
No doubt, no doubt.
Stevens again gets it. He wants the 1-2. Oh, that was fantastic. Griffin.
Well done.
Gave it back. Right, that was magnificent. He got it going. Here we go.
Have a ping.
Murphy from 55, sells a dummy, runs into the open goal! And kicks the goal!
Get over to him.
Pumps the air! 2-point ball game.
Both teams are out on their feet. You look at the doggies in the back line here. Kobe Stevens, who was the start, the initiator back there on the back flank. He is down on the haunches. He's sucking in air. But you know what? Son, we can't change you. Keep running. You've got to stay on. Rob Murphy carries the footy. And the fact that it went in slow motion for a second gave someone who has clarity under pressure and capability of thinking through it. Murphy's over, he would have been thinking, I can balk this dude.
You see the run from Stevens. He drew the opponent, then Griffin ran. He drew the opponent. They created something out of nothing through hard running.
From the flick down, Griffin. Del Santo goes hard. Liberatore just as hard. Griffin floats it inside 50. Broad tied his man up. You heard the call, the flick down. Jim Siracusa, kickable by his standards. Big bounce this. And in the blink of an eye, the Western Bulldogs steal the lead.
Well, first time for the opening 3 minutes of this game that the Bulldogs are in front.
Boys, the last quarter, Kingy said it, I highlighted it, 6 centre clearances to zip in this last quarter. They are amazing statistics. 9-1 in the clearance areas, and now they've hit the front. That is dominance. Well done to the midfield. Well done, Will Minson. Well done, Gia. Good snap.
David King, the centre breaks have been absolutely vital.
They have, and they're doing it with power now, Ed. That's the difference. 4 goals, 3 from centre bounce clearances. That's a huge number. They've got the energy. They've got the spark. Can they keep it going?
21,309 fans at Etihad Stadium roaring themselves hoarse as we've got a ripper. Umpires letting it go, and he's paid the free kick now against Del Santo. And Big Will does the press up on his back and then handballs to Stevens, who fumbles under pressure. The handball probably is a bit hot to him, and he's got a free kick for high. Got out of jail to Kobe Stevens on that occasion. Will says settle down. Stevens says, mate, listen to your own advice. The handball comes out to Liberatore. The kick inside the corner's a beauty. Diving mark taken by Smith.
They found something here, the Dogs, haven't they?
Clay Smith decides to go long. It's a shank of a kick, and McAvoy gets into the hole and takes the mark.
Chickwell, they need to show some poise. He had Stanley on offer. He ignored Stanley. Heads wider. Hickey.
See Hickey's able to run away from Big Will then again. McAvoy's run down the spine.
Meister held by Goods. Free kick.
Revolt's off at the moment. He's having a breather, so there's going to be nothing ahead. Sipos will be the main target.
This is big for the Saints. They need to win this to keep their chances of playing finals alive, you'd think.
Oh, they just need it. They need the win. The kids need to say we're better than this, than the Bulldogs list.
Huge lead. No mark. Sipos. Free kick against him.
Good call from the umpire.
The Saints, the season could open up. They win this. They play North Melbourne next week, the West Coast here, and then Melbourne. They win this, they give themselves hope. They lose this. And you're right, Dermot, it will do a lot of damage to their confidence. And the same thing for the Dogs. They win this, they've got Port Adelaide next week in Darwin. And suddenly it opens up for them. Young heads back. This is vital.
They're out on their feet, boys. They are spent this time. It's going to be who's prepared to dig deeper for longer is going to win this game.
That's what I said, Kingy. The rotation of the sub coming on. One's a full forward line player. It's going to hurt.
Young down the middle. Flicked away from Williams. Good steal that. Stephen got one to the midriff. Got the kick away. Montagna for the lead back. He bends it, but not enough.
They might be tired, the Western Bulldogs, but they cannot afford to go back and try and play possession footy. They're not skilled enough.
They're not good enough.
They're not good enough to do it. They need to just find something. They need to think about the fact they've won one game in 19, and the only way they're going to do it is if they run and kick it.
How good is it, Roo? We've got a game that's going to be won on guts, to just willpower to run rather than rotations.
Which is going to be a great hallmark of this match, no doubt. 25,982. The Bulldogs now get the handball going. McRae, off it goes. Johannesson's kick. It's a wobbly old mongrel of a kick, and a beautiful mark taken by one of the stars of this afternoon, Robertson. Quilts at defensive 40. What a ripping game this has been. Bulldogs in front. They held the lead for the first 3 minutes and 50 seconds, basically, of the opening term. And from that moment on, it was St Kilda, but they're back in front now. 3 points, a kick in it. Griffin has been fantastic. Great work on the mark there by Morris. Jones to present. Gets it, and it's stuck.
Held the mark.
He found himself against the, third game, young Webster. Playing in his third game, 188 centimetres, up against the 194 centimetre.
Jones has had 3 disposals, 2 kicks and a handball.
Stay right out of the mark, guys.
Needs to kick this though, boys, doesn't he?
This is the big one. He's kicked 45 goals, 30 in his career. Game number 46. To make the margin 9 points. 35 directly in front. Jones comes in and kicks the goal. The Doggies, 1 win from 19 starts, and now in the box seat.
Well, this is the third quarter for the day. They've kicked 5 goals. They got 5 in the first, they got 5 in the third, now they got 5 in the last. Used his body well there. Wasn't a clean catch, but used his body pretty well on the youngster. It was a good kick to the advantage side of the big fella, and he did what he should have there and took the catch.
Well, I said to you, Dwayne, when the Saints got 2 goals ahead early in this quarter, I said they're 2 goals off icing this game. They've kicked 1 since then.
And Derby also said the Bulldogs' goals come with a rush. Well, they've kicked 5 of the last 6.
Oh, this is a good game. Now it's the Saints. We've got to see how deep they can dig.
10 clearances to 1 for the Dogs, as you saw. And seasons can turn on results like this. You steal it, hopes rise, youth has been injected into this Western Bulldogs lineup. This is the first time that Stringer, McRae and Horovat have played in the one lineup together. 3 of their early draft picks. Can they get the dividend? Boyd, Gian Siracusa. Addison leads, kick smothered. Geary got in the way, back to Gia, back to Addison, backtracks, got it. And this is huge. This is arguably the biggest kick of the year for the Dogs. This is for a 3-kick margin.
He's kicked 3 goals here. Dylan Addison, he's had a wonderful night. The last inside 50, of course, or a couple before. It was a beautiful kick to get the Doggies into the spot.
He's your McGuan from Richmond. He's your scrapping type forward. And if he gets 2 or more, he's had a day out.
For a 15-point margin, and this is top shelf from the Western Bulldogs.
Gia's been good since he's come on, boys.
Just knowledge and know-how, wasn't it?
I thought he might have thought I might have a crack at this, but he just beautifully positioned. That's a perfect kick. Gave Quilt no chance. He didn't even have time to turn around.
You see this, watch his hand. We'll see that to get 1 more if we can get it. Addison throws his hands up like he's going for the early mark because he knows Quilt is so professional. Quilt's going to just jump and try and get hit in the back of his own head with the ball. So Addison tries to make him go early with a feint.
Kingy, how important for St Kilda was that loss of Hayes at 3/4 time with the calf, because they're getting smashed out of the centre.
They are, and just have a look at that conversion going inside 50. The Dogs' ball use has really improved. They've both been inside their forward 50 21 times in the second half. The Saints have only managed 6 goals. The Bulldogs have managed 11, a goal every second entry. They are unbelievable numbers.
Another one as Liberatore gets it out. Big Will Minson got the tap. Out it comes. Jones gets the ball first. High tackle, was it? Umpire said no to McRae. Jones gets the handball out. Griffin has been sensational. He gets it back again to McRae. McRae to the hot spot. Gianzia Kuruza from behind gets it. Almost gets a handball off. Addison is hungry. He's got 4. He wants 5. He gets it out to Stevens. To Gianzia to ice the game. No. Rush behind.
Stevens was hanging around. I thought he was going to get another one.
They're going to get a coast to coast here.
circling like the shark that he is, Derm.
Nunes wide to Meister. No arm slap free. Umpires have put the whistle away. Jones takes it to the line. They are 3 kicks from the lead, the Saints.
12-1 the clearances in the last quarter, boys. Smashing.
Armitage hurts, he's out as well, but then the Doggies have got Cooney. He's on the sidelines too.
Stephen to Ross. Milne's on the run here. His man's fallen over Pickin to keep them alive. Stevie Milne. Miss.
For Milne's kicking style, he was almost running 2 straight into goals then.
Could have run in a bit further, Derm.
Well, they're off here.
Johannesson chips it out wide. Pickin.
Milne's so good at kicking around corners with low drop punts. He likes to be on that sort of sweep the boot across the body.
They're on, Derm. Lower over the top. Dalhouse kicks long and strong. Here he goes again. Dylan Anderson punched away by Quilt. Was great play. McAvoy gets it down to Stanley. Out it comes to Montagna. And of course Nick Mariwatt is going to be the next bloke. Next part of the chain. He went short to Hickey. And the lead was on from Mariwatt. I thought maybe Montagna might have gone for the long kick. Plenty of time, 4 minutes and 21 in this game, but not if you kick like that. And Hickey's kick
He's done something with Hickey.
Has he?
Yep.
So Morris does the intercept and marks across half-back for the Bulldogs.
No need to tell you, time is on their side. 3 goals, 4 minutes. That's the equation for both these clubs. And what could be a season-turning result. Boyd, they made the big call, the Dogs. They dropped cross. Brought in youth, and it could pay the full dividend.
Time to get someone behind the ball now. Time to push one of the forwards up behind the player. They can afford to run the game down now.
Yeah, Hickey's got some kind of twitch in the groin. Comes straight to the bench.
Inside 4 minutes now, 3 minutes 30 and change. Umpire lets it roll, it's ball. Saints free. There is still time if they're quick.
Must get one here though. So Mariwatt gets away. Goes his direction. Morris from behind. Did enough. Spills back. Farron Ray from the boundary line's got it! They needed to get the goal and Ray finds it. Game on again with 3 minutes and 7 on the clock.
Well, does this, what is it, 11-1 out of the stoppages this quarter?
Boys, this is a good lesson, Derm. When they're forward, your main forward goes for the ball. The next forward should trail in behind and be the 3rd man in line. If it goes over the top, you're the first man to get it, and that's what Del Santo did there. It is a great lesson for forwards. When blokes lead, be the next one in line, because quite often if it clears your man, you'll go over the defender's head and you'll be the next one in line to get the ball.
So it's Del Santo, Stephen and Jones up against Boyd, Lower and Griffin.
2 goals, 3 minutes. Farron Ray driven by his ex-teammate Murph. Is he on his back? You'd have to say he was.
Not at the 25-minute mark or whatever, 26-minute mark.
Big flick down Del Santo. Boyd sharks it. Handball doesn't hit a target. McAvoy can't get his arms free. Gang tackle. More seconds tick down. And we'll get another ball up. They need 2 goals in 2:44.
The work of Liberatore, not massive stats for the night, but his work in these situations is huge.
So they got the second man up that time. Del Santo flicked it out. Jones lets it go over the line out of bounds. That's a win for the Bulldogs because they need to kill the clock as much as get a score here. Saints need to kick 2 goals. 2:34. A goal here for the Bulldogs, and you would think it would be just about all over. Griffin has been magnificent. Good tackle by Ross. Great play by Griffin, and that's another win for the Bulldogs. Inside 50 and a throw-in.
46 hit-outs for Minson, boys. Huge day.
So Big Will goes again against McAvoy. McAvoy just gives him an edge underneath it. Stephen tried to sock it through. Boyd. Ross just flicks it out and hopes for the best. Murphy inside. Beautiful handball to Liberatore. Inside 50 it goes. Rovat was in there. What a boo he's had. Goes again, grabbed high in the back. No, says the
That was in
umpire.
the back too.
They're letting it go, aren't they? They're letting it go. They could have paid lots of frees in this last half.
And we're wrapped they are.
Yep.
So throw up inside 50. Here we go. Big Will again.
Del Santo being held by Lauer. Del Santo.
Last roll of the dice for the Saints. Dwayne Russell on Fox Footy.
So Nicky Dell heads wide. They peel to the space.
Free
They
kick
need
forward
the
to
run.
play.
Didn't see it.
Milne was knocked down behind play. Umpire said, keep going, boys. He didn't pay it. Griffin for the knockout blow. Looks up, drives it long. Goal square. The dreaded dog, Nick Dalhouse. Can he get back? Picks it up. Takes some seconds off the clock. Keeps it alive. Does he win a free? Ball.
Back to your head.
If they're going to give a free kick away, that's the spot. Here they go, the Saints. They have to roll the dice. Gwilt with a minute 15. They need 2 goals. It's going to come straight back. Here comes Bob Murphy. Good tackle by Hickey. Hits the deck. Picked up by Stephen. Away they go. Jones looks up. He goes for the long bomb. Riewoldt is there again. The superstar. No, Pickett's got it. Riewolt's been knocked down. Down for the count. Hit his head on his shoulder, on Pickett's shoulder, I think. 50 seconds. Ball in dispute. Johannesson gets it back to Stephen, who's been fantastic. Stephen's heads through the boundary line with a clever kick, and Nick Riewoldt hasn't moved.
That was courageous. That was shades of his mark that he took against Sydney all those years ago.
Head on head.
Head on shoulder, I reckon, Derm.
Pickett's shoulder?
Sure. No, there was nothing in it. It was just got cleaned up in the action.
Yeah.
Murphy with 35 to go. It's going to be a famous Bulldogs victory, Dwayne.
They're going to break the drought, the Dogs. Turnover, taken out. But Webster doesn't know how long left. He almost marked that, Nick Riewoldt.
Oh,
That was courageous.
He almost held that long enough to be paid the mark.
He's gone. Have a look at him.
It's a 9-point margin. 2 goals in 27 seconds. Too much to ask. Sard feeds it back. Boyd. Griffin. He has tried all afternoon and he's going to get them home almost single-handedly. And you go to hear an almighty roar very, very shortly. Nick Riewoldt comes to the bench. There it is again. Almost held it long enough and picked it off.
There's a bit of a right cross to the button there, Dermot. Unintentional, of course. His hand was going through trying to grab the ball. So with 10 seconds on the clock, here come the Western Bulldogs. 1 win from 19 starts. They came here today, they looked gone, and now the Bulldogs, the sons of the Scray, have got their 2nd win. Brendan McCartney stands up. The relief is absolutely palpable here. The umpire will finish with the ball in his hands, and the Dogs have defeated St Kilda by 9 points. If ever there was a match where both teams ran themselves into the ground, when the coach says, I want you to leave nothing behind, today is that day. A wonderful game of football on this Indigenous round of football in the AFL, and that is one for the ages. 2 teams lowly on the ladder, but absolutely at the top of their intent this afternoon. And we congratulate both sides for a wonderful game of Australian rules football.
Oh, that was a super call. I was still staggered to see these 2 teams down the other end of the ladder and put on a display like this. It is one of those ones in this day and age, Brew, where we've got rotations and we've got all these areas to go to get fit. Guts won this one. We've got a bloke who showed plenty in the last quarter and put through one of the goals of the season so far. David King is with the man.
With the old man, Robbie Murph, the man who's mentoring all these young kids coming through. What a fantastic win.
It was great, you know. Sort of can't believe it, to be honest. That siren went. I was expecting another 5 minutes. It was just one of those games that felt like it'd go forever. St Kilda were great. It must have been a great game to watch. It was tough out there.
It was a great game to watch, and I know we talk a lot about the kids coming through and all that sort of stuff. But there come a stage in that last quarter where the game had to be won by senior players, and you stood up and you took control yourself, Boydie. You found a way.
Yeah, it was. I think across the board, you know, I think some guys really jumped up, and you know, it meant a lot to us. You know, it means a lot to us every week, but you know, we really needed something this week, and I couldn't be prouder of the boys' efforts.
You know, I don't like you being too serious. You know that. When you got that handball just backwards of the half-back flank, and your eyes lit up straight away, didn't they? You're always going to have a shot, weren't you?
Always, yeah. You can't take the forward out of the back, but look. sort of the seas parted and thankfully it snuck in, but I didn't have much left in the tank, mate.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic. A great win for the Western Bulldogs. I think get in there and give the coach a special cuddle, mate.
Thanks, Kingy. Appreciate it. Thanks, mate.
A fantastic result. This is the goal that David King was speaking about. Just sold a little bit of candy, as they say. The nice balk. That's the most beautiful balk of them all, Doom, isn't it? When you just show that little bit of ball, get around, keep your composure, keep your line, and head for the goals.
And how does fate fall in your favour in certain days? I mean, they had one inexperienced player, the Saints, in the back line at that stage. Who was he? Reece Stanley, who came at Robert Murphy. Each one of those other players was it was Fisher, it was Gwilt, it was those types of blokes who were down there ahead of the ball. But it was Reece Stanley who came at him and he sold in the pup, danced around and put through the goal.
Well, speaking of pups, there's some ripping pups down there. Nathan Rover, what a debut he made this afternoon. Let's go down to David King. He's got more.
I've got Kobe Stevens. What a game from yourself personally. 20 possessions has been your highest, or your career highest coming into this game. You finished with 30, and you've only ever kicked one goal in a game. Today you had 3. What an amazing performance.
Yeah, look, mate, it was good to get some runs on the board, but most of all, we've been hurting as a playing group, and it's, about times of hard work happened, and, got the win. That's the main thing.
Did you feel this coming? Did you know this performance was coming?
We did. We've been playing at about 85%, and, we've been doing just the little things wrong, and we got all them right today, and we felt it coming, and we knew we worked so hard to get this win, and hopefully we can keep going now.
After 3 years with the West Coast Eagles, you found a real home here. Now, Dermy is fascinated with you and your eyes in particular. I want you to look right down the barrel and say, there they are, Derm, have a good look at them.
That's it, mate.
Good on you, mate. Well done. Go and enjoy.
Thank you.
Good on you, Shark. Well done, Kingy. Fantastic.
They're
and
black.
there's Teddy Whitten Jr. Ferret, one of the great players too at the Western Bulldogs before he did his knee. The son of the great E.J. Whitten. And today, Derm, you and I are pretty proud to know that they're playing for the Teddy Whitten Trevor Barker Trophy today, with the proceeds going to the Trevor Barker Foundation to challenge cancer support for the kids with cancer. 2 of the greats of football, 2 of great men off the field and on, and it's heading to the kennel. EJ would love that. They stuck it up him today. Great stuff. Well done. Western Bulldogs defeat St Kilda by 9 points. You're watching it exclusively on the Mighty Fox Footy.